Very good morning to all. The respected Professor Mallaya Garu, Chairperson of the first technical session, and Co-Chair Beulah Garu, Mary Stella College, Vijayawada, and Principal Ramesh Garu, and Rohini Kushma Garu, and Professor Madhu Babu Garu, our research scholars, and faculties came from various colleges from both the Telugu states, and students, ladies and gentlemen. So my presentation in this 2 days national seminar, Innovation in Agriculture, a Rural Development. So I focused this innovation in agriculture sector, a transforming to the rural development. From the first starting to that, from the first the inauguration session onwards, many speakers as to explore the various important issues of this agriculture. So you know this agriculture, India is a predominantly agriculture rural economy. So 46% of labor force and directly indirectly depends on agriculture sector, and this agriculture sector is contributed the 14% to the GDP, and it is the growth rate is consist of this the agriculture growth is 3.2%. But to see this data in this the structural changes of the agriculture is the sign is parameter of the development scenario, because the historical aspects of the GDP, the proportion of the agriculture sector is a continuously decrease. So it is a sign for the development when agriculture contributions and declining in the proportion to the GDP. So of course, the GDP, in terms of GDP, the agriculture growth is continuously declining, but still the agriculture sector in terms of employment generation, that is a 46.4%. When compared to that, both these sectors, industrial sector and service sector in India, still the agriculture is the major job provider sector in Indian economy. So based on this, the importance of the agriculture sector, so what is the changes are going to take in agriculture sector? So already in that the keynote speaker, Professor Mallaya has pointed out that this is the upcoming of the second green revolution. Already we have faced the first green revolution 1966. Now the second green revolution in the form of new innovations. So new innovations that is a very, very important for the transforming of the agriculture, thereby the rural development. So why these innovations? So because of this, one is the efficiency and effectiveness in the agriculture system, increasing farm productivity, production and area, maximize the production and minimize the input cost. Now can the transforming the traditional farming to the smart farming, and then the transparency and sustainable resource use. This is the very, very important of the sustainable resource use, because of the under the traditional practices and primitive practices of the farm techniques. So there is no the optimum and sustainable resource. That is already that Mallaya sir is pointed out that maximizations of the output and minimizations of the cost. That is one of the very, very important key incentives for these new innovations. And the last one is that boosting the farmers' income doubling. That is ultimately aim of this, the reaching of the fruitfulness of the agricultural development. The income is enhancement of the farmer, because India lives in the villages, so farmer income will be increased. Definitely rural development is also increased. So in this aspect, innovations are actually, so already that the agriculture sector is going to that the primitive and traditional practices. So these are that no longer to the sufficient, because the growing demand for growing the population in the universal level, the growing the demand for the food, the food security to eradicate poverty. So there is a need and essential to implement and applicable of the new innovations and a digital application in the farm sector. So that here that in my paper has that quoted some important studies. So that the studies are only just a few studies on the innovations. One the study is that here the night 2021. So in this paper is that he pointed out that the farm sector, so that there is sufficient to meet that current needs, and therefore the interaction, so that the AI technology already is the Professor Malla is pointed out that under the new innovation is AI technology, artificial intelligence, robotics, drones, and machine learning and Internet of Things. These are the new changes. So in upcoming technologies we can use in the agriculture because of that. So this is the very, very important. So that suppose, for example, that drones is capturing that so geospatials of that images, that will is accurately that what is the problem and what is the sector of this the crop growing. So what is the crop growing and how to crop health and what is the diseases of plant and weeds. So these all are the smaller thing will be identified by the only innovations, not in the primitive practices of the agriculture. So that's why, so we invited in the new innovations and forming, let's explore this. And another important study is the Lee et al. 2017. He's also that that in his study is the drone captured image. Already is pointed out the drone images detecting the early plant stress diseases and nutrient deficiency. This allows the farmers to intervene, promptly preventing the potential crop losses. So see here that many studies like this, also that Jose Rosano and Level Madurai is also that the same thing will be that so new innovations as increasing the food productivity and production developing countries. So based on these studies, so that I have the focus that the framing the three important objectives to assess the usefulness of innovation in agriculture sector in India. And the second important thing is to analyze how farm innovations on agricultural area and productivity and production in all the crops in Andhra Pradesh. And third important one is to identify what are the challenges are the faced by Indian agriculture sector if we can apply these new innovation techniques for the mechanization in agriculture sectors. So for that we have the studies that the data and methodology we can use for this. The secondary data is we can that use from the 2012 to 2013 to 2021, 22, 10 years of the data. So the secondary data, the data is from the Director of Economic and Statistics, Government of Andhra Pradesh, and Statistical Abstract and the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy reports and economic surveys, and the data. So this data we can that use the annual growth rate and the average and regression. So this we have this. The first important the based on data. I am not showing the tables because of that the hectic tables will be that to prepare the PPT. Simply to I have the drawn this the trend lines of the line diagrams. So particularly related to that how this area and production and productivity in that sectors. So that this graph is that indicates that the growth trend of the area under all the crops during the 2012 and 2013 and 2015. You can see this graph. So that in 2012 and 13, so 83.44, the hectares of the area per thousand. So it is increased from 2021-22. That is area under the crops is increased. That is 87.36. But here the trend is shows that that is y that is r square just 0.38%, but it is not a significant increase due to that area. So that slowly the ups and down has taken place in the data. So whatever that slowly, whatever that during this 10 years of the data, the area is that increase at a very slower rate. This graph is shows that. Second important thing is that coming under the productivity, the same period of productivity in that same that 88.82. So the productivity is kgs per hectare. So the same thing is that increase from 138.8 22, that is in 2021-22. So this is a very important. This is the shows that that square that is 0.8%, because that the area the productivity is that is significantly influenced by these the new factors for that existing technology. Because so this is the very important. The trend line shows that the smaller the changes ups and down, but anyhow there is a significant impact of the growth in the productivity. And further important thing is that the growth trends of the production, the same production is also taking place from 2012 to 13. So this is also very significant point, that is the 0.6, the sum of square, the square. So overall the growth rate is also that is significant. See both. Here these three graphs, which shows that the first graph is not, it is not a significant impact of that area, but only the production and productivity is increased highly significant due to that this existing technology or upcoming of digital applications in agriculture. So based on this, in the morning sessions, the many speakers, Professor Mallaya Garu and also that Professor L.K. Mohan Rao sir, that and also Ramesh sir, all of the speakers pointed out that. So how this, whether these new innovations or the existing technologies, so how extent, to what extent it will be that helpful for the Indian agriculture present scenario, whether it is, if applicable of new innovations, definitely it is that, whether it is increase, and what are the, if you applicable, that what are the things and what are the problems we can face. So based on that, certain important the inferences whenever what is the problems is faced by the Indian, you can see that already that in India 86% of the labors, so they consist of the small and marginal farmers. So that it results 86% of the farm labors for the consist of the small holdings. It means small holding. The small holding is not feasible to applicable applications of that this capital intensive farming. Because of that, so the present India is not that suitable for this one. And second important thing that so farm innovations are actually is that highly capital intensive. It is not labor intensive, because India is that basically is that labor abundance country, where India is that the labor in the working age group of the population is very high. So this so in the very working age group of the population, when we applicable of the capital intensive, basically India is a shortage of the capital, and also farmers' income is very low, and because they are unable to purchase of this type of the farm mechanics and innovation. So these are very, very important of to before to the if implemented the innovation in the child. And also that the same thing is pointed out, that lack of skilled laborers in agriculture is constrained to operate a new application of farm technology. So basically the farmers are that literally very low, and also that they are not having the proper training. If you can apply if you can already the existing technology mechanizations may not use the optimum. So if you use the same innovation, suppose AI technology, artificial intelligence, how much the farmer is able to that understand in the basic level, in the farm level of the practical field. And also that drone system, drones, how to, so these all are the drones and supply chain, and also that machine learning, these all that, so to know that the farmers is highly at the skilled base, then only it is applicable. Unless it is not applicable, so this is also that one of the very important the Indian scenario, if applicable of this innovation. And also that one of the very important of the lack of data set farms. Basically the existence of the data farm in Indian on agriculture sector is a very lag. This leading to that high cost of the services. And also one thing, a very important challenge is there is no remunerative prices for agriculture commodity. This is also because of that after productions of the farmers produce. So what about the prices? If you all these speakers are to talk about that India is coming into the second green revolution, innovations and everything will be the talk about. But after the productions of the produce of the food crops and non-food crops, what about from the point of the price side? Whether the farmer getting the minimum support price for after producing the price. So this is the important issues from the point of the price setting and the minimum support price. And also that very important thing, one is the lack of food processing and logistic and warehousing infrastructure, facilities are not so that sorry, that is a mistake to wrong, and not nearer to the farm fields because of the where the farms, and basically India is the lack of warehousing facilities, and also that food processing also that very less, and food processing the different related to that agriculture is also that relevant, that very. So whenever that our warehousings and food processing are not attached to the farm field, nearer to the farm field, so we are not able to that utilize maximization of the production. So these are the very important, so that the challenges faced by before the challenges faced by if you implementations of the innovations in India. So so the same thing is that conclusion, whenever the conclusion the based on that I have the triangle that regression one thing is that base production productive and productive, of course that whatever the data I say that if we is to speak the data, it is a boring one that. So what is the present what is the future, the challenge for India to have the sustain of this agriculture sector with with the balancing of the smart farming. From one side is that the traditional practices, and another side is that that smart farming we are talking about now. The agriculture is entered into the smart farming. So how this both this club, so that Malay sir, the Professor Malay has pointed out that one thing is that basically India is the farmer produce organizations. So like the cooperative farming. So this will be that only when these things will be that emerging, then only it is innovation and this new the digital application uses in agriculture. So, so the government has taken that initiative to do to development of these innovations on par with the Western countries. So the situation is see that we are pictures of the that India is the dream for 2047 is the Vikasit Bharat. Under this Vikasit Bharat, India is transforming the so developed nation by 2047. So just 20 years is ahead of this 20 years is ahead. Within the 20 years, the how much the innovations will be that applicable, and in agriculture, what the government initiative, what the policy makers will be give, this is the question mark. So we are going to the wait and what will be happened in the future. So of course, whatever that we welcome the innovations and this digital application in agriculture. So with the base, so with this I have that so to write this the paper. So thank you very much giving this opportunity, Professor Mal, chairperson and co-chairperson and organizer these institutions and colleagues. Thank you very much. It is a madam.
We will take the questions after completion of all three speakers.
No, it is a
Thank you.
It is a madam.
Thank you, Dr. Karimullah. For presentation. After completion of all three presenters, then we will go for the question and answers and clarifications session. Now I request Chand Basha. Chand Basha is going to present on triangle of access to artificial intelligence, climate changes. Mr. Chand Basha.
Right. A warm morning to all, particularly to all the delegates, the child experts, and all the youngsters. The speaker before you is Dr. S.K. Chanbasha. I'm Assistant Professor, Department of Geology, Andhra Law College. Right. My talk is on triangular axis of artificial intelligence, climate change, agriculture, which I believe as a crux point for inclusive growth in India. Let me make this simple. There are three different domains actually, but they're connected by a small thread, what we call an integrating thread. Artificial intelligence, we knew that it becoming a part and parcel of our daily routine, starting from scanning of medical images, even facial recognition as well. So, keeping in view of the versatile applications of artificial intelligence, we can use in the context of what we call climate change. Say the climate change effects are inevitable. So we have to ready for the what we call, say for example, the recent California wildfires. 80% of the what we call California wildfires are because of anthropogenic induced dry or what we call warm weather. So we have to be ready for this climate change, which is imminent and inevitable as well. So keeping in view of the climate change, its impact particularly on agriculture, so we have to search for novel ways because sustainable agriculture is most important, particularly in the Indian context. I will tell you why it is important in India and how it promotes inclusive growth. So this is my what we call in a nutshell, artificial intelligence predicted climate change, say like climate change map, then it will be used for the agriculture, leading to sustainable growth and inclusive growth. That's all. So regarding, as I said, just a basic premise. So we all know that the AI is like everywhere. It is ubiquitous, starting from one point to other point. So keeping in view of its versatility, why can't we use the AI in climate change? For example, like 50 years of carbon dioxide emission map, or what we call drought hazardous map, or flood prone map, everything will be done. So based on qualitative and sufficient algorithms, it is actually happening. Actually, we are in the infant stage. Indian government recently launched one of two few what we call schemes like Kisan E-Mitra, National Pest Surveillance System, just only at the infant level. But the most important thing in Indian context is empowerment of the farmers through the knowledge of AI. This is very important. So just institutionalization of AI without empowerment knowledge, what we call knowledge empowerment of farmers, doesn't serve the purpose. So I will tell you some what we call, we will discuss some case studies happening across the globe, how they connect these farmers. So then we will come to know the best way or the best deal, right? So as I said, regarding the basics, AI has more advanced hands. Say for example, it can enhances our climate change preparedness. Say based on the current scenario, it will give what we call a disaster prone map or extreme precipitation map. Say the recent reports of El Nino and La Nina, which what we call that twin sisters of extreme climate change. El Nino means here the warm sister, La Nina means the cold sister. Both cause havoc. For example, extreme rain, or say extreme floods or extreme drought like that in different parts of the globe, right? So this can be predicted by AI based on the what we call climatic change variables. The next, there is one case study which I would like to cite here, XIDA. XAIDA, it's a European government program that actually using AI, they have predicted successfully regarding the ongoing floods. This is very important, which will be a particular case study that we can use and implement in our Indian context. Then, with respect to climate change, what we call direct action, we all know that I'm not going into the details of climate change. We all know that carbon dioxide, so what we call SF6 and others will be responsible. We all knew that. So how can we monitor the emission is very important here. Say for example, the Netherlands, SRON, a combo of SRON from Netherlands, LSE, what we call the research organization from France, and most importantly, WAFC group of Harvard University, along with Kairos of France. These four research R&D centers, they are working and they have prepared what we call methane emission maps. They are giving a prediction maps regarding the methane emission. Because when compared to carbon dioxide, methane is 80 times more powerful than what we call CO2. Methane is a stronger greenhouse gas because of its absorbing capacity. And the same in case of carbon dioxide as well, we can track the vehicular traffic, that means a vehicular based carbon dioxide emission and its total content as well. So how can we do this? It's an integration. Say, as I said, the crux point for the artificial intelligence is data, inputs, say from satellite or from drones or from cables or in what we call earth-based observatory or earth-based ground centers. All this data will be analyzed, and based on the training methodology, what we call supervised learning or the unsupervised learning, it will give a prediction map. So data is the mother of AI, in simple terms. So we have to integrate all this in one go with the reliable algorithms. We can do this. Actually, SR1 of Netherlands, as I said, LSE of France, they are doing, and they successfully predicted the methane emission map. Then, regarding the current scenario, so just want to give a nutshell information about the current scenario of climate change. As per the IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, July 6th, 2023 is the hottest day so far. And July 2023 is the hottest month. And since 1880, there is an increment of 1.1 degrees, say what we call increase of 1.1 degrees centigrade since 1880. And we all know that CO2 and followed by methane, nitrous oxide, and fluorinated gases are the top 4 contributors of greenhouse gases. And of course, anthropogenic factors are important in building up of atmospheric concentration of greenhouse gases. Right. So the talk should be specific. Here, I'm not going to the details of AI and climate change. Should be precise and specific, like AI, climate change, agriculture. That's it. So with respect to that, impact on global scenario, that means global agriculture and in the Indian, what we call Indian agriculture. In general, climate change rocks the globe in the way of extreme floods and others. It affects the global agricultural productivity by affecting its yield. How it affects the yield? By shortening the crop productivity. Say, for instance, the general duration of a crop is 10 months, but because of global warming, it shortened to 8 months. You know what happens? It interferes with the crop maturity. When the crop maturity is disturbed, it will lead to inappropriate results. That's the impact. Particularly in Indian context, I will tell you, we have disastrous consequences. Say, why? Because our Indian, as the previous speakers also pointed out, there are certain factors which I would like to discuss in the coming slides, but in case of Indian context, is very disastrous. So just we will discuss the worldwide AI applications. Say this Kenya, what I believe is the best model, they are actually using AI-based crop yield models. And on top of it, they are empowering small farmers. You can see that, there is an institute called LDRI, Local Development Research Institute of Kenya, in collaboration with Fair Forward Project of Germany. They are two together. They are preparing AI maps, what we call climate change prediction maps or crop yield maps. The most important thing is, before prepare the maps or the parallel to that, they are empowering farmers. Because here in Indian context also, marginal farmers, the share is very high. So we have to empower farmers. For example, if they don't know how to study the AI-based map, it doesn't serve any purpose. Just it may be stick on to the paper only. So the empowering farmers, what we call knowledge empowerment through what we call AI literacy, just like financial literacy we have, economic literacy, we have AI literacy, basic AI literacy, how to study the graph. So they have done it and they got the success. As I said, diversified sources, they got it. That means the data from satellites, the soil sensors, the weather stations, all this together, they are creating AI-based map. So it is I believe it is the best case study for AI-driven climate change adaptation strategy in tune of agriculture, based in Kenya. Then another model, St. Kitts and Nevis, they are the Caribbean islands. They are drought risk modeling. Just like Kenya, they are also using AI-based model because last year they have expected a drastic reduction in the rainfall. Say 741.8 millimeters in 2022 to just 472, a staggering 472 millimeters in 2023. That means almost 30 to 40% reduction. Because St. Kitts is one of the hub of tourism. So increase in tourism means demands much agricultural production. So keeping in view of climate change impacts and tourism, they have to sustain their production. For that, preparedness is the key. As I said, preparedness. Preparation means we have to empower ourselves with AI literacy. So for that, they have what we call CTCN, Climate Technology Center and Network. It is UN-based. Together with St. Kitts local organization, they are preparing drought risk modeling system. What they will do, say the scientists, they sit together, they prepare they process all the inputs, and they prepare a map, and they condense to the level of the, what we call farmers. For example, in Kenya, they are making it available in the local languages. Not just English or Japanese or Spanish. Then local language is very important. So local language availability is very important, and they are giving it to farmers with the help of some training, then they're getting results. This is the second best case study model, I would say, what we call drought risk modeling. Say, in Indian context, as I said in the previous discussion, it is very disaster, what we call a catastrophe, even a bigger than disaster. Why? 65% of Indian population resides in rural areas, and nearly 47% of Indian populace depends on agriculture for livelihood. 51, this is very important, third point, 51% of net sown area in Indian agriculture is rain-fed. That means, on the mercy of nature, we are depending on. Monsoon is the main source of water provision. So no monsoon, no rain, that means no rain means no water and no harvest. That's it, the simple connection. Because we are still in the, what we call, way back in the drawback system. Our agriculture is not equipped with the devices that increases our preparedness. So under this background, climatic catastrophes will be severe, particularly in this context. Okay, this I have suggested a model in my publication now. Agriculture model for inclusive growth in India. How can we utilize tap the in climate change? Say, the first image, you can see that, the artificial intelligence will be useful in the climate change, what we call prediction model. You can see the second image now. And this prediction model, what we call maybe a drought-prone model or a flood-prone model or maybe anything, will be streamlined to agriculture. And here knowledge centers, you can see in the down arrow. Knowledge centers means R&D centers. Say we have Kishan Vigyan Kendras, for example. We can utilize the existing centers. And we can utilize the NGOs. Here I will tell you, integration of vital stakeholders. It's not a one-man job. The government players, the scientists, the R&D centers, the NGOs, and the farmers. What we call the pentagonal strategy. They have to be together and what we call in a sequential dissemination manner to empower farmers. Say what we call AI-driven climate change adaptation strategies. Then it will increase our preparation, what we call preparedness, or increase our mitigation strategies and adaptation strategies. It can, what we call a buffering against climate change. Then ultimately sustainable agriculture. Then this sustainable agriculture, what we call preserving and enhancing the food security, leading to inclusive growth. As I said, major chunk of farmers still depends on monsoon for what we call for crop production. So for them, AI will be a blessing, a plan B. That's how they can secure their livelihood as well. Inclusive growth means, in my opinion, knowledge empowerment of farmer that guarantees not only the livelihood, but also what we call becoming the owners. There is no need to worry about the livelihood. Just they own us because they own the AI, so they have what we call the preparation strategies, and they can face the challenge. And now the conclusion, the same here, an integrated strategy of AI. So as I said, 3 has to be integrated in one platform that drives the inclusive growth based on the model which I have discussed. And for that, the government plays, as I said, the formulation and implementation. Recently, the government of India has what we call a Kisan chartboard for the government programs, what we call use of AI in Indian farming system, and national pest surveillance system, and crop health monitor. These are only 3 schemes they have started. Of course, we are in the beginning stage, but as I said, beginning is not the important here. Unless until we don't empower the farmers, it doesn't make sense. So effective dissemination which connects the farmers so that they will utilize these and empower themselves leads to inclusive growth. That's my take-home message. Is my thankful to Andhra College for the support and the references. Thank you.
Thank you, Chan Bhashi. You developed a model for this. We'll go for next speaker, Sunita J. Kumari. Sunita? Are you there? Yeah, please come. Sunita J. Kumari, she is presenting evaluation of poverty in historical and political context.
So, a very good afternoon, the dignitaries on the dais, and dear faculty members and my dear students. Myself, Sunita, lecturer in history, Government Degree College, Rampachodavaram. So, my topic is the evolution of poverty alleviation in historical, economic, and political context. So, I'm a historian. So, most probably, my topic will be related with the history. But how we have to elevate poverty from the society. It's a very difficult task nowadays because almost all the world countries are facing this problem, poverty. So even the governments is also taking lot of measurements to remove this poverty from the society. So let's have a brief look. So India has faced a very significant poverty challenges since independence. Why? Because India was ruled before by the Europeans, that is mainly the Britishers. So we have so much of economic drain during the period of Britishers. So our economic condition was very low during the period, and the policies which are taken by the Britishers was also very low, because if you if you see the historical perspective, the British government was taken so many famine commissions, because we have so many famines visited during the Britishers period. So all these commissions were not at all useful for the people, and it is very difficult to recover or to come out from the economic stress of the Indians. So various policies and reforms have shaped the country's approach to poverty alleviation. So this presentation explores the historical, economic, and political evolution of poverty alleviation in India. So the colonial administration destroyed a traditional source of income in all the way. So not only the agriculture, the handicrafts, industrial wise, in so many ways, our colonial administration was ruined our economic structure. So after the independence, if you see the post-independence period, the government was taken so many initiatives for the self-sufficiency of this rural development. For that, if you see, initially our first government was taken like 5-year plans. They were introduced the 5-year plans for the development of economy. So in the first 5-year plan, they were given importance for the agriculture development. This is mainly taken because the rural economy should be developed. So in 1950s to 80s, so a planned economic approach was taken, and after that, if you see during the 90s, during the rule of the P.V. Narasimha Rao Garu, so we have liberalization, privatization, globalization policy to develop our economic condition. So all these, whatever the things we are taking, whatever the policies we are taking, which is mainly related with the government policies. So the government has playing very vital role and pivotal role for this remove or for this poverty alleviation. So the role of different political parties in implementing so many schemes. So if you go through the schemes of different governments, so we can see the public distribution system, integrated rural development, like MGNRA, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Guarantee Act, National Food Security. So these are all some of the few examples, like how the government was taken policies to eradicate this poverty from the society. But all those policies, whatever the policies we are taking, whatever the important, whatever the laws we are making by the government, so it is very difficult to remove this poverty from the society. So for example, when we have come to the approach, we are comparing with other countries. If you, for example, if you take Brazil, so in Brazil we have one important policy, Bolsa Familia. It is in Brazil, which is integrated conditional cash transfer. So which is very helpful for the people of Brazil. They will have a direct transactions to the mothers to help the children, most probably to help the children in economic way. For their basic needs, this Brazil Familia was in Brazil. Bolsa Familia was very familiar. Like that, if you see in China is also having one important, because China is also one of the popular country like our India. So that is, but if you compare our GDP with China, so China will always be in the very far, like it is going, the economic condition of the China is very good comparing with our India. So their poverty alleviation programs also for this basic village level is rural level is very, very important. So these are the recent developments in poverty alleviation, like direct benefit transfers, Pradhan Mantri Yojana, digital financial inclusion programs, these are all. So what are the challenges we are facing for implementation of all these programs? So the main thing, which is whichever sector it is, so we are mainly dealing with the corruption. Leakages in welfare schemes. So many welfare schemes are introducing by our government. But if you think that how many welfare schemes are relating or it is reaching to the particular section of the people in the society. So the main reason that we have very inefficient bureaucratic policies and we have very inefficient mismanagement system is existing in the society. So unequal distribution of benefits, which is depending mostly on the regional disparities also. So these are all some of the challenges. So for that we have some case studies and success stories like rural employment programs, self-help groups. Mainly nowadays we know about the self-help groups everywhere. The self-help groups are helping, particularly for the development of women's career. So these are all important. We'll have some success stories also for this poverty alleviation. So what we have to do? So strengthening some social welfare mechanism, and we need entrepreneurship and skill development. These entrepreneurship programs is also nowadays through this SEH, the government, particularly in Andhra Pradesh, we have so many schemes for the development of women groups through these small help groups. So when we come to the conclusion, so India will have in India we made a significant progress in poverty alleviation, but still we need some lot of effort required for inclusion growth. And before concluding, I want to tell one more important thing. So apart from all these, if you see, so as a historian, I want to say, in 1929, we have a very big economic depression all over the world. So, but if you see that the most of the big countries like USA, they came out from this economic depression through some policies. For example, like New Deal policy of Franklin D. Roosevelt during the time of the US president, he introduced a 3R system, relief, reform and recovery. So those are very helpful for the people of US to outcome of that economic depression. Even the US helped the other peoples like Germany. And during that time, Russia was also affected, but their ruling of that Joseph Stalin during that period. So these are all very helpful for to come out of this economic depressions during that period. So what I want to say is, I want to conclude this small presentation. The policies what the government is taking, it have to reach the people who are needed. it was included in politically, so many things were included in that. So our political system was a little bit um, we have so many disadvantages and in this political system. So when we will come up all these recovery of all these things politically, so definitely one fine day we will have this, we can at least a small thing, we can eradicate this poverty from the society. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunita Kumari. The historical way of evaluation of the poverty presentation. Now the session is open for question and answers and clarifications. Now I invite questions from the youngsters as well as seniors. Yeah, any doubts, any questions, any speaker? We have three speakers, three presenters. One is Dr. Karimullah on innovations in agriculture sector and transform to rural development. And Chand Basha is a model of artificial intelligence and climate changes. And another is historical way of presentation of the poverty of youth. Yeah, please. No questions? Yeah, please.
జయ జయ సశ్యామల సుశ్యామచల చేలాంచల జయ వసంత కుసుమలత చలిత లలిత చూర్ణ కుంతల జయ మదీయ హృదయాశయ లాక్షారణ పదవిగడ భారతమాత. వీరికి నేను కోరుకునేది ఏంటంటే, ఇంగ్లీష్లో పేపర్ ప్రజెంట్ చేయకపోతే కొంపలే మునిగిపోవు, ఇంగ్లీష్లో సమాధానం చేయకపోతే అసలేం నష్టం కాదు. మీరు చేసిన రీసెర్చ్ ఏంటి? వాట్ ఈస్ ది రీసెర్చ్ ప్రాబ్లం? వాట్ ఆర్ ది ఆబ్జెక్టివ్స్? What are the hypotheses? What are the conclusions? Poverty alleviation అంటే ఏంటి? అసలు poverty, don't be ashamed of poverty. Don't brag about it. Try to drive it away as early as possible. రీసెర్చ్లో పేపర్లో ఉన్నట్టుగా అక్కడ గోధుమలు పంచిపెట్టారు దరిద్రం కనుకోవాల్సి. ఒక నిమిషం, మీ రీసెర్చ్లో పర్ క్యాపిటా కన్జంప్షన్ ఆఫ్ ఫుడ్ గ్రెయిన్స్ ఎంతమందికి పెరిగింది? పర్ క్యాపిటా కన్జంప్షన్ ఆఫ్ క్లాత్ ఎంతమందికి పెరిగింది ఈ స్కీమ్ మూలంగా? ఏమైనా రీసెర్చ్ ఉందా? దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ వీ వాంట్. అటువంటి పేపర్లు ఉంటే సంతోషిస్తాం. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Thank you for your advice. This is not question, this is advice. We will take it as advice for future research. Yeah, please. This is very good advice. We will take for future research by the youngsters. Yeah, any more questions, please? Yeah, if there are no questions, then we will go for our presentations. Yeah, I request co-chair to give the brief note on these three presentations.
Good afternoon, everyone. See, the three research papers, they have been well worked on. It's my duty only just to summarize the whole thing, a few points. So from what I heard from these three papers, one is the Innovation in Agriculture Sector, Transforming Rural Economy by Karimullah sir. So what we understand is that people are going in for these innovations in agriculture sector, and there is every need to use AI. But at the same time, why we have to use innovations? He talked about the concept of maximizing output and to minimize the cost, to boost farmers' income, to eradicate poverty. One more thing that he told is that There are so many techniques to be used, like geospatial imaging by the use of drones. I think even the Dr. Malaya sir also talked about it, use of drones. And then he also talked about learning about nutrient deficiency. Diseases also could be detected. But then he also said that there are quite a few challenges. Concept of how skilled the laborers are. If the laborers are not informed, they're not empowered, new innovations cannot be used, right? So unless the laborers are skilled, new innovations can't be applicable. And high cost of services and good chapter, sir. And then, of course, the minimum support prices for the farmers. So these are all the various things that need to be taken into consideration, according to Karimullah sir. And he also talked about the challenges, traditional practices versus the innovative techniques, use of innovative techniques. How possible it is to apply these techniques is a big question. So it's all in the process, and we have to see the pros and cons of it and then make use of it. No doubt we need to go for new techniques, but how applicable they are, Nidhi, that's another thing. And then Mr. Chand Basha sir, he talks about how sustainable agriculture can be promoted through novel ways. He talked about how AI could be used to predict the climate. It can generate useful information on climatic changes by the generation of maps and graphs. And he also talked about greenhouse gases and its impact on climate change. How data is the mother of AI, but then the current scenario is that shorten the crop maturity. That meaning he talks about how climate change is having its impact on the crops as well. And then he also talked about how certain countries have successfully developed certain models, like Kenya. Kenya using AI-enabled crop models in collaboration with Germany, he talked about that. Caribbeans also talked about drought risk modeling system, developing preparedness. Because if you're not prepared for any disaster, then we face a lot of negative consequences. So he talks about being prepared. That's another thing which is also is important. And and I think finally what I understand is the integration of vital stakeholders is also important. They have to be working in collaboration. The new techniques, the government and the people who are involved, then only we'll get the best possible results. And then the last paper by G. Sunita Garu, Evolution of Poverty in Historical, Economic and Political Concepts. She talks about the economic drain that happened during the British rule, how the policies were taken, but they were not sufficient to alleviate poverty. And as a historian, we all understand that the British have ruined our economy. Then after independence, after 1947, measures have been adopted by the government, but how far they are successful, that's another big question. Schemes of the government, not enough to eradicate the poverty. I think we still have a long way to go. There are challenges as well, welfare schemes. They are in place, but how many are being benefited by that? So how many are able to get access to this benefit of welfare schemes? And there is also unequal distribution of benefits. She talked about that, and in Andhra as well, self-help groups are there. And there are many schemes, but still, we need to see how successful they are, how effective they are in eradicating poverty. So, yeah, that's from my side. I hope you're able to understand the essence of these three papers, the importance of innovation. There is a need for innovation in agriculture production because the major employment, it is one of the major source of employment to many people in India. though we say we are going forward, still much of India is also very much steeped in agriculture. And unless we use some of these applicable new techniques, perhaps only then we can go forward. Maybe more benefits can be received by us. Thank you.
Thank you, Co-Chair. Wonderful summary of the three papers. I request our another Co-Chair of Dr. Arun Kakani to give the note of this session.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you for giving this opportunity. Andarki Telugu Bhasha Dinosa Shubhakankshalu. So it is not a crime to speak in our own language, but still we'll speak in English, no problem with it. So I joined a little late with the seminar on innovation and agriculture role perspectives. The productivity I have noted, the new and factors, yes, growth rate, technological relevant, capital investment, and India is not there yet. India is an agriculture-based country, and I'm very happy to be a part of this. And why weren't we able to, for example, if you study the consumption of milk versus the production of milk only in the country of India, so much artificial milk is being produced. I'm sure you are following some serious cases. And similarly, yes, if you have listened to the recent announcements of our Chief Minister, he wants to bring drones as patrolling in police department. So how far that is relevant? Drones do a good job in warehousing. We are looking very much forward for deliveries of drones for pizzas and Flipkart deliveries or Amazon deliveries. So we are looking into that. But as far as farmers are concerned, yes, it's a serious investment. So for a farmer who has, for example, an example has been taken for 1.2 acres of land, how much innovation can be brought into that? That's a very good question. And I have seen, when I worked in a bank, I have seen a father employing a bullock, 2 oxen, to drive his plow, whereas the son is using a tractor. Both are right in their perspective. Technology is really good, but at the end of the day, if you remember Maharana Pratap's horse called Chetak, it has taken a serious steep and has reached humongous heights to save its owner's life. So technology is really good. Artificial intelligence, I would like to tell only one thing. Artificial intelligence is not to be reliable. I want you guys to do very serious research on that. When I did my research, artificial intelligence didn't recognize black people as humans. Yes, technology is necessary, true, and yes, we'll be using that, and we are looking very much forward for Viksit Bharat. And I also want to remind you guys about the Pradhan Mantri's previous term of CAA, or many reforms were brought and the farmers were seriously unhappy with that. I want you guys to look into that. And when we talked about Dr. Chand Bashas, I was there completely. So climate change, agriculture, and I did a research on climate change. So yes, methane is one of the most disastrous gases, and animal husbandry is one of the main problem, because the gas released by an animal has a huge amount of methane, and methane does destroy the environment. True, when I did this seminar on climate change and me 2 years ago in my previous organization, so I advocated people to use air conditioners less, use public transport more. What can we do? What can as individual can we do to control that climate change? We'll be suffering climate change, and if you have followed the news recently, this summer is going to be 1 to 2 degrees hotter. Summers are getting hotter, winters are getting colder. So anta serious chali mana tattukolem, anta serious heat kuda mana tattukolem. So what can we do? Reduce air conditioners, reduce usage of air conditioners, reduce usage of your carbon emitting vehicles, reducing a lot of heat emitting products in our homes is a starting point. Advocated, have a no buy day, oka roju em konaddu, economy will be prospering. And one of the most interesting topic of all to me, to start with, I was very intrigued by this topic, poverty, evaluation of poverty and historical and political context. So what are the indicators of poverty? That's the first thing I would like to know. And I would like to give this panel and this world, India is a beautiful country, be proud to be an Indian. Yes, we have been plundered by many nations. Yes, Portuguese vacharu, Dutch vacharu, British vacharu. Plunder of wealth in Dadabai Nauroji and Bukra Saru. Recently there was another article how much the reparations are being paid by British to India. True. But India is a beautiful country. And yes, poverty, I would like to say that governments are servants of public, and public should be dominating the government, rather expecting government to do something for us. Yes, some push from the government because we are paying taxes, true. So Chinese GDP versus Indian GDP, I don't believe that's a proper comparison. China is a very different country, India is a very different country. And even Chinese military is compared with Indian military, that's absolute nonsense. Chinese landscape is huge. They need more military. India's landscape is small. We don't need that much of military. So China again is different, entirely different country. India suffered so many colonizations. If you study the history of China, China didn't suffer many. And I would like to also say that yeah, China did build the Great China Wall to take care of Mongols and Mongolia. Now Mongolia is almost barren land. So again, as I say that our neighbors are prospering, we are not. I don't believe that's a proper thought. India has its own context. As in the words of Dr. Jaishankar as well, I really admire Dr. Jaishankar. The foreign policy of India has been beautiful. Chala strong Indian promote చేశారు in the past 10 years. India soft power hard అయింది, hard power soft అయింది. We are doing a very good job. So poverty is something we can address every now and then. Government ఏం చేయాలి అంటే yes, again as I said earlier, governments are servants of people. And what we can do for ourselves is more important than what government will do for ourselves. That's what I will believe in. And I was very interested in all these 3 research papers. And as my predecessor also said, a research problem, methodology, findings, solution. That would be much more applicable. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Arun Kakani, by giving a note in such a bold manner. The remarks of chair of the session. With congratulations to 3 paper presenters for your spirit, enthusiasm, and effort for writing such a paper and these topics, whatever the concept you have selected. All are, my observation is that you have put effort, but your effort to be increased more to make it is publishable, and it can be publishable with some modifications. With this, as our Kakani said that yes, these are the basic points of research. Everybody is to be followed, and yes, it shows your presentations, the way you presented the paper, it shows that you are more interested in the research, your enthusiasm. It is reflecting that you are with this. Unfortunately, we did not get any questions. That is one factor in this session. I was expecting some questions. Anyway, this question is ending without any questions. So with this session, organizer, I am closing this session with the permission of organizer. So thank you very much. Thank you one and all for patiently listening this session. 3 papers. Thank you one and all. We will meet in next session. Thank you.
అందరికీ లంచ్ ఏర్పాటు చేయడం జరిగింది క్యాంటీన్లోను. స్టూడెంట్స్ కూడా అందరూ లంచ్ చేసి ఇమ్మీడియట్గా వచ్చేస్తే నెక్స్ట్ సెషన్ స్టార్ట్ చేసేస్తాం. అందరూ కూడా పేపర్ ప్రజెంటర్స్ అందరూ కూడా స్టూడెంట్స్ కూడా అందరూ ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేసేయండి. ఆఫ్టర్ విత్ ఇన్ హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్ లోపు అందరూ ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేసేయాలి. ఓకే,
ఉండండి ఒక నిమిషం. స్టూడెంట్స్ ఎలా కూర్చోండి ఫస్ట్ ఇలా.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, I would like to thank the organizers and management of Siddhartha College. My heartful thanks to Dr. Ramesh Garu and my research scholar and faculty member Dr. Kusuma Garu for the giving me an opportunity to share my views in this national seminar. Once again, I warm welcome to this second technical session number 2 on agriculture and rural development, a multidisciplinary seminar. Now it is a topic is quite relevant and current interest of the society because of still morning onwards we had lengthy discussions by the organizers and particularly the chairman and co-chairman of the first technical session. They raised so many issues relating to the need of the hour of innovation of technology. Really, I congratulate the Department of Economics of this college because of the choosing the topic is very relevant, the current interest. Particularly, we need to focus on the interest of the agriculture sector of Indian economy. Yes, whenever we want to talk about the agriculture economy, there is no need, in India particularly, there is no need to the highlight the things related to the what the employment is available, what the national income came from that sector, and how the agriculture sector production productivity and other all. We know very well as a arts students and scholars and faculty members from the economics department and other the rural developmental aspects. Now the time is to focus on the new technology adoption, particularly how to adopt these innovative techniques right from the genetic modified seeds, BT, cotton and others, and market access, particularly the credit in the new era. These are all the very root level problems of the agricultural farmers in our India. You know, we have more than directly, indirectly, the more than 60% of the population and workforce is depends on agriculture, and we got the employment opportunities. I mean, the observation of the labor force, agriculture and allied activity. When you are talking about the Indian agriculture or any agriculture, broadly we want to understand the two aspects. One is the crop economy. Second one is the ancillary activities like fisheries or aquaculture and other all. So what the technology they are using. Of course, if you see the other side of the coin of the Indian economy, the more than 50% of the workforce and GDP came from the large share of GDP came from the agriculture sector. If you see the other side of the coin where there is a less than 5% of the people depends on agriculture sector like India and Germany or other countries, there are only less than 5% people is depends on that sector, but their production and productivity is more than 2 or 3 times in Indian agriculture sector. Why? What is this difference? We need to understand. The only technology and innovations are played the very important role. Particularly, the risk and they enhance the probability and farmers' income and the mechanization and accelerate the food security and then marketing genetically modified seeds and the technologies, particularly irrigation. Morning one paper is also very particularly focusing on the drought irrigation and irrigation facilities and monsoons, gambling with monsoons, other all. They are rightly pointed out their paper. So we need to understand these ground realities in agriculture, and same time what the steps are necessary to achieve the proper development and proper productivity in agriculture sector. Know about the production productivity trends in the agriculture. So in this juncture, the Siddhartha College Management and Department of Economics is rightly pointed out the need of the hour on this topic. So once again I congratulate the organizers for choosing this topic and organizing the national seminar. The seminar paper presentations and the presenters' suggestions will definitely helpful for the policy makers. In this, with these few remarks, my co-chair will later, he will take his own time. We have two presentations in this session. First, the one is the CH Srinu, research scholar. They don't mention their name. Yes, he is ready to talk on MSMEs, and SK Ashad and Karimullah and others want to talk about the on agriculture budget. Now I invite CH Srinu to present his paper. CH Srinivas, please come and present your paper.
Very good afternoon to the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. Myself, Srinu, CH. I am working as a guest faculty in Government Degree College, Rampuchwadavaram. So I also a research scholar, recently joined, last year joined in Andhra University as a part-time research scholar. Being this is my first paper presentation, I don't say this is a paper presentation, just concept elaboration, that's it. I don't know the protocol that is being followed when we are delivering the paper presentation. So even I didn't prepare my PPT also. So pardon me if any inconvenience that I made to you. Okay, when it comes to the topic, my topic is trade receivables discounting system, which is it's a central government scheme implemented by the RBI, Reserve Bank of India, by creating one RXIL, Receivables Exchange of India Limited. Okay, this is the platform where the working capital is being provided to the MSME. So simply, you should know what is the working capital first. So working capital means is nothing but a money that is needed for running a business. For example, you have an worth of 1 lakh rupee worth of a iPhone, but you don't have a 50 rupees for buying a SIM. So you cannot avail all the benefits given by the iPhone because of lacking 50 rupees for buying a SIM. So the working capital is very much important. You may have a 3 lakh or 1 lakh or 2 lakh bike, but you don't have a money to for buying petrol, a liter petrol. So you cannot avail the benefits given by the asset. Okay, so working capital that much important is needed. So for why I'm taking this topic, actually I'm getting slowly gaining the knowledge on this. I would like to do my research on this only. So for MSMEs, as earlier paper presenters has said many statistics regarding the MSME in the India. I don't want to go over the statistics of this MSME. So simply the farmers, they need a prompt payment when they sell any goods or service to the buyers. They don't get a prompt payment, so they are lacking their working capital. So when they have a prompt payment, they can use the same amount for the further business. So working capital, అంటే నేను చెప్పింది మీకు అర్థమవుతుంది అనుకుంటున్నాను. వర్కింగ్ క్యాపిటల్ అనేది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫర్దర్ బిజినెస్ చేయడానికి, న్యూ ఇన్నోవేషన్స్ వెళ్ళిపోవడానికి చాలా చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. సో ఇక్కడ ఈ ట్రెడ్స్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ ఏం చేస్తుందంటే, దీంట్లో దెర్ ఆర్ 3 parties ఇన్ ద ట్రెడ్స్. వన్ ఈజ్ సెల్లర్, సెకండ్ వన్ ఈజ్ బయ్యర్, థర్డ్ వన్ ఈజ్ ఫైనాన్సర్. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుందంటే సెల్లరు అమ్మేస్తాడు గూడ్స్ని. ఓకే, అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తారంటే బయ్యరు సెల్లర్కి ఒక ఇన్వాయిస్ అనేది ఇస్తాడనమాట. ఓకేనా, ఆ ఇన్వాయిస్ అనేది ఈ ట్రెడ్స్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్లో ముగ్గురు ఏం చేస్తారంటే రిజిస్టర్ అవుతారు. సెల్లర్ ఎప్పుడైతే గూడ్స్ అమ్ముతాడో ఇమీడియట్గా ప్రాంప్ట్ పేమెంట్ రాదు ఇతనికి. అప్పుడు ఒక 3 months 4 months తర్వాత ఇస్తానంటాడు బయ్యరు. అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తారంటే వీళ్ళిద్దరూ ఈ ట్రెడ్స్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్లో రిజిస్టర్ అవుతారనమాట. రిజిస్టర్ అయిన తర్వాత ఫైనాన్సర్ కూడా రిజిస్టర్ అవుతాడు. రిజిస్టర్ అయిన తర్వాత ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక 1 lakh వర్త్ గూడ్స్ అమ్మారండి. 3 months తర్వాత పేమెంట్ జరుగుద్ది, బయ్యర్ ఇస్తాడు సెల్లర్కి. ఈలోపు ఇతనికి ఆ క్యాష్ అనేది అవసరం కదా. సో ట్రెడ్స్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్లోకి వెళ్తారు ఇద్దరు. బయ్యర్ కూడా ఏం చేస్తారంటే దాంట్లోకి వచ్చి తన సమ్మతి తెలుపుతాడు. నేను ఇతని దగ్గర బై చేశాను గూడ్స్ 1 lakh రూపీ వర్త్ అంటాడు. అతను ఎప్పుడైతే దాన్ని ఆమోద ముద్ర వేస్తాడో ఈ ట్రెడ్స్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ మీద, ఇది ఒక ఆన్లైన్ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ అనమాట. సో మధ్యలో ఈ ఫైనాన్సర్స్ ఉంటారు కదండి, వాళ్ళు దీన్ని కోట్ చేస్తారు, బిడ్ చేస్తారనమాట. ఒకరేమో 10%, ఒకళ్ళు 8%, ఒకళ్ళు 9% అన్నట్టు బిడ్ చేస్తారు. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే అందులో సెల్లర్ ఇష్టం అనమాట. అందులో ఎవరు మంచి బిడ్ ఉందో వాళ్ళకి తక్కువ రేటుకి ఒక 8%, 9%, ఒక ముగ్గురు ఉన్నారండి, ఒకళ్ళు 10, ఒకళ్ళు 11, ఒకళ్ళు 7 అని ఉంది. సో 7ని చూస్ చేసుకుంటాడు అనమాట. అలా ఇమీడియట్గా ఫైనాన్సర్ ఏం చేస్తారంటే ఇమీడియట్గా మనీని సెల్లర్కి బ్యాంకులో వేసేస్తాడు. సో ఈ 3 నెలలు పోయిన తర్వాత ఫైనాన్సరు సెల్లర్ దగ్గర నుంచి మనీ కలెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటాడు అనమాట. ఇది ప్రాసెస్ ట్రెడ్స్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్. ఓకే, దీనివల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే అగ్రికల్చర్ అనేది ఇమీడియట్గా డబ్బులు సెల్లర్ అకౌంట్లో పడిపోతాయి. సో వాళ్ళు ఆ డబ్బును తీసుకొని చక్కగా వాళ్ళ యాక్టివిటీస్ని ఫర్దర్గా డిలే చేయకుండా చేయొచ్చు అనమాట. ఓకే, అది ట్రెడ్స్ అండి. ఇందులో నేను చెప్పినట్లుగా 3 పార్టీస్ ఉంటాయి ట్రెడ్స్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్. మనకి ఇది ఒక్కటే ఉందండి ట్రెడ్స్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ ఇండియా మొత్తం మీద. చాలా ప్లాట్ఫామ్స్ ఇంకెలాంటివి మనకు రావాలి. ఎందుకంటే ఫార్మర్స్ ఏదన్నా మనకి ఒక మనిషికి బ్లడ్ ఎంత అవసరమో ఈ బిజినెస్కి మనీ అంత సర్క్యులేట్ అవ్వడం అంత ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఒక 3 months 4 months అరువు మీద తీసుకెళ్తారు కదా ఆన్ క్రెడిట్, అలా కాకుండా సో ఈ ట్రెడ్స్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ అనేది ఏం చేస్తుందంటే ఇమీడియట్ పేమెంట్ అయ్యేలా ప్రాంప్ట్ పేమెంట్ అయ్యే విధంగా చేస్తుంది అనమాట. ఓకే, సో దీనివల్ల ఇందులో ఛాలెంజెస్ ఏమున్నాయంటే పేమెంట్ డీలేస్ మెయిన్. అగ్రికల్చర్లో సేల్ చేసిన తర్వాత మనీ రావడానికి చాలా టైం పడుతుందండి. అందుకని ఈ ఒక మంచి టెక్నాలజీ వచ్చిందండి మనకి. అదేంటంటే ట్రెడ్స్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్, ఇది ఒక ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ అనమాట. దీంట్లో ఇమీడియట్గా సేల్ అవ్వగానే ఎవరైతే బయ్యర్ సంతకం పెడతాడో అవి ఈ ప్లాట్ఫామ్లోకి వెళ్ళి దాన్ని ఏం చేస్తారంటే యాక్సెప్ట్ చేస్తారు ఇమీడియట్గా దాన్ని. ఇది ఫ్యాక్టరింగ్ అని ఒక ఉంటుంది మనకి. ఫ్యాక్టరింగ్ మీకు బీకామ్ వాళ్ళకి తెలుస్తుంది ఫ్యాక్టరింగ్. సో ఫ్యాక్టరింగ్ ప్రాసెస్ అనమాట ఇది కూడా అంతే సేమ్. ఓకే, సో దీని ఇంపాక్ట్ ఏముంది, ట్రెడ్స్ ఇంపాక్ట్ అగ్రికల్చర్ ఎంఎస్ఎంఈ ఏముందంటే ఇంప్రూవ్డ్ లిక్విడిటీ అండ్ క్యాష్. ఇది ఇమీడియట్గా లిక్విడిటీ క్యాష్ అందే విధంగా చేస్తుంది. సో ఫైనాన్షియల్ ఇంక్లూజన్ అయ్యేలా చేస్తుంది. అంటే ఫైనాన్సర్స్ ఇక్కడ ఎవరెవరు పార్టిసిపేట్ చేయొచ్చు అంటే బ్యాంక్స్, నాన్ ఫైనాన్షియల్ బ్యాంక్స్ ఇవి కూడా పార్టిసిపేట్ చేయొచ్చండి. ఆర్గనైజేషన్స్ ఎవరైనా పార్టిసిపేట్ చేయొచ్చు. ఆర్బీఐ పర్మిషన్ తీసుకొని ఆ ట్రెడ్స్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్లో రిజిస్టర్ అయ్యి ఫైనాన్స్ చేయొచ్చు, ఆ బిల్స్ని కొనుక్కోవచ్చు వాళ్ళు. ఓకే, తర్వాత ఇది రిడ్యూసింగ్ వర్కింగ్ క్యాపిటల్ సైకిల్ అనమాట. ఈ వర్కింగ్ క్యాపిటల్ సైకిల్ అనేది తగ్గిస్తుంది ఈ ట్రెడ్స్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ అనేది. ఓకే, కొన్నిసార్లు మీకు ఎక్కువగా 45 days పట్టవచ్చు, ఒక 1 year పట్టవచ్చు. దాన్ని సైజుని తగ్గిస్తుంది అనమాట. ఓకే, ఒక 10 days 15 days త్వరగా మనం పెట్టిన డబ్బు మళ్ళీ తిరిగి క్యాష్ రూపంలో వచ్చేసే విధంగా మనకి హెల్ప్ చేస్తుంది అనమాట ఈ ట్రెడ్స్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ ఇది ఏం చేస్తుంది, స్ట్రెంథింగ్ ది బయర్ సప్లై రిలేషన్షిప్. ఎప్పుడైతే డబ్బు అనేది మనీ మేక్స్ మెనీ థింగ్స్ అంటారు కదా, అలాగే గొడవలు కూడా పెడుతుంది. ఇక్కడ సప్లయర్కి బయర్ రిలేషన్ అనేది, బయర్ సప్లయర్ రిలేషన్ అనేది మెయింటైన్ చేస్తుంది ట్రెడ్స్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ ఉండడం వల్ల. సో ఎందుకంటే మనీ ఇమీడియట్గా బ్యాంక్లో డిపాజిట్ అయిపోద్ది కాబట్టి బయర్కి ఇబ్బంది ఉండదు. సో వీడు కూడా సప్లై చేద్దామని చూస్తూ ఉంటాడు. సో దేర్ ఇంక్రీజెస్ ది రిలేషన్షిప్ బిట్వీన్ ద బయర్ అండ్ సప్లయర్. అలాగే ఎంకరేజ్ ఇన్నోవేషన్స్ ఇన్ గ్రోత్. ఎప్పుడైతే వెనెవర్ ద మనీ ఈజ్ deposited into the bank account of the buyer, they can use the same money for implementing the innovations by buying the innovative things అలా అనమాట. న్యూ టెక్నాలజీని వాళ్ళు ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేయొచ్చు మనీ ఉంది కాబట్టి. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ మనకి కేస్ స్టడీస్ తక్కువ డేటాని గ్యాదర్ చేశానండి. సో ఇవి మహారాష్ట్రలోని తర్వాత కర్ణాటకలో కూడా వీటిని ఎక్కువగా ఉపయోగిస్తున్నారు. చాలా మన వాళ్ళకి చాలా తక్కువ దీని మీద అవగాహన ఉందన్నమాట. అవగాహన అయితే కల్పించాలి. చాలా 2014లో స్టార్ట్ చేశారండి ఇది. అయినప్పుడు కూడా చాలామందికి తెలియట్లేదు ఈ ట్రెడ్స్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్. ఎంఎస్ఎంఈ ఉపయోగించుకోలేకపోతుంది దీన్ని. ఇవే ఛాలెంజెస్ ఏమున్నాయంటే ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అవేర్నెస్ లేదండి ప్రజల్లో. తర్వాత ఎంఎస్ఎంఈ వాళ్ళకి తెలియట్లేదు అగ్రికల్చర్. తర్వాత డిజిటల్ లిటరసీ ఉండకపోవడం, అంటే హౌ టు యూజ్ దట్ systematic process, how to upload the invoices and how to accept by going through that online, the TReDS platform, electronic, అలాంటి డిజిటల్ లిటరసీ కూడా లేకపోవడం వల్ల ఇది కొంచెం ఇబ్బంది ఫేస్ చేస్తుంది. సో పాలసీ రికమెండేషన్స్ ఏంటంటే ఫస్ట్ అవేర్నెస్ కలిగించాలి, తర్వాత బిల్డింగ్ కెపాసిటీ అంటే హౌ టు యూటిలైజ్ దట్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ అనేది తెలియజేయాలండి. తర్వాత ఇన్సెంటివ్ ఫర్ బయర్స్, ఎవరైతే బయర్స్ ఉంటున్నారో ఫైనాన్సర్స్కి బయర్స్కి గవర్నమెంట్ ఇన్సెంటివ్స్ ఇవ్వాలి. అంటే ఎక్కువ మంది ట్రెడ్స్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్లో ఇంక్లూడ్ అయ్యే విధంగా గవర్నమెంట్ దాన్ని ఏం చేయాలంటే ఓపెన్ అప్ చేయాలి. ఇప్పుడు చాలా క్లోజ్డ్గా ఉన్నాయి, తక్కువ మంది మాత్రమే పార్టిసిపేట్ చేస్తున్నారు. దానివల్ల ఏంటంటే ఈ టర్న్ ఓవర్ కూడా చాలా తక్కువగా ఉందన్నమాట. సో ఎక్స్పాండ్ చేయాలండి ప్లాట్ఫామ్స్ని. తర్వాత ఎక్స్పాన్షన్ ఆఫ్ ద ట్రెడ్స్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ అంటే ఎక్కువ మంది బయర్స్, సెల్లర్స్, ఫైనాన్సర్ కూడా చాలామందికి ఎక్కువ మందికి అవకాశం ఇవ్వాలి దీంట్లో. సో మై కన్క్లూజన్ ఏంటంటే ట్రెడ్స్ అనేది చాలా ఇట్ హ్యాస్ ఎ పొటెన్షియల్ కెపాసిటీ టు చేంజ్ ద వే ద ట్రేడ్ ఈజ్ బీయింగ్ డన్. అలాగే మార్కెటింగ్ స్కిల్స్. ఇంకొక విషయం చెప్పాలండి, మార్కెటింగ్ అంటే ఇక్కడ మనకి రీసెంట్ బడ్జెట్లో టీమ్ అనే ఒక స్కీమ్ని ప్రవేశపెట్టిందండి. టీమ్ అనే ఒక స్కీమ్ని ప్రవేశపెట్టిందండి ఎంఎస్ఎంఈ టీమ్. ఈ ఎంఎస్ఎంఈ టీమ్ అంటే ట్రేడ్ ఎనేబుల్మెంట్ అండ్ మార్కెటింగ్ అండి. ట్రేడ్ ఎనేబుల్మెంట్ అండ్ మార్కెటింగ్ టీమ్. దీంట్లో ఏమవుతుందంటే ఓఎన్డీసీ మీరు వినే ఉంటారు, ఓపెన్ నెట్వర్క్ ఫర్ డిజిటల్ కామర్స్. అంటే ఎంఎస్ఎంఈస్కి ఈ టీమ్ అనేది ఏం చేస్తుందంటే ట్రేడ్ ఎనేబుల్ అండ్ మార్కెటింగ్, ఇది వరల్డ్ బ్యాంక్ స్పాన్సర్డ్ స్కీమ్ అండి. ఇది ర్యాంప్ అనే ఒకటి ఉందండి వరల్డ్ బ్యాంక్ది, రైజింగ్ అండ్ యాక్సలరేటింగ్ ఎంఎస్ఎంఈ ప్రొడక్టివిటీ ర్యాంప్. దీని ద్వారా ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేస్తుంది. అంటే ఇక దీని అర్థం ఏంటంటే మనం కూడా ఏదో మారుమూల ప్రాంతంలో నేను ఒక ప్రోడక్ట్ని తయారు చేస్తున్నాను, నేను ఏం చేయొచ్చు అంటే అమెజాన్లోని లేదంటే మిగతా ఫ్లిప్కార్ట్లోని నా ప్రోడక్ట్ని నేను చేర్చుకోలేకపోవచ్చు, కానీ ఓఎన్డీసీలో నేను ఎప్పుడైతే రిజిస్టర్ చేశానో ఆ ప్రోడక్ట్ గురించి సెర్చ్ చేస్తే మిగతా వాళ్ళ ప్రోడక్ట్లతో పాటు నా ప్రోడక్ట్ కూడా చూపిస్తుంది ఎంఎస్ఎంఈకి. సో ఆ విధంగా అది ఉపయోగపడుతుందండి టీమ్ స్కీమ్ ఎంఎస్ఎంఈకి. అలాగే అగ్రికల్చర్ రిలేటెడ్ మార్కెటింగ్ చేసుకోవడానికి, లోకల్ ప్రోడక్ట్ నుంచి ఇంటర్నేషనల్గా ఫార్మేషన్ ఆఫ్ ద సర్క్యులేషన్ టు ఇంక్రీజ్ ది సర్క్యులేషన్ ఆఫ్ కస్టమర్ పెంచుకునే దానికి కూడా ఇది ఉపయోగపడుతుందండి. ఈ టీమ్స్ కొత్తగా ప్రవేశపెట్టిన ఈ టీం ఏదైతే ఉందో అది. సో అది థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
Hello, Srinivas, please wait here. Sir. Wait. This is very interesting topic.
Sir, thanks.
First, I would like to congratulate the Srinivas for choosing the nice topic and very interesting one.
Sir.
Really, it is open for the for your if any final year students can take this assignment as a entrepreneur. What this Srinivas is introduced a new scheme and which you have the employment opportunity to organize to create the awareness about this TReDS program. Yeah. Now it is open for the discussion and questions. Any questions from the students? క్వశ్చన్స్ అంటే ప్రశ్నలు అడగమనే కాదు, ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ గురించి మీరు విన్న తర్వాత మీకేమన్నా ఇంకా ఫర్దర్గా టీచర్ గారు అయినా చక్కగా మీకు ఒక టాపిక్ గురించి లెసన్ చెప్పారు, నాకైతే చాలా ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్గా ఉంది. అట్లానే మీరు ఒకవేళ దీన్నే ఒక జాబ్ ఆపర్చునిటీగా కనుక తీసుకొని ఎలా ఓపెన్ చేయొచ్చు, ఎలా మాట్లాడవచ్చు అనేది మీరు శ్రీనివాస్ గారితో ఇంటరాక్ట్ అవ్వచ్చు. Srinu, you please take it. It is an only open discussion,
okay,
not the questioning hour.
Okay,
Whatever my students asking you, you please, whatever you know, whatever you learn, there, please share your views. అలాగండి అసలు దీన్ని పల్లెటూరులో అసలు మనకు ఆంధ్రాలో ఎక్కడ ఉంది, ఎలా ఉంది, అసలు ఆంధ్రాలో లాంచ్ అయిందా లేదా, ఎంతమంది ఎవరైనా రైతులు వాడుతున్నారా, వాడుతుంది, ఇది ఏ క్రాప్కి అయితే అప్లికేబుల్ అవుతుంది. మరి మీకు ఇలాంటి డౌట్లన్నీ రావాలి. ఇంత పెద్ద ఖర్చు చేసి సెమినార్ పెట్టి ఇంత ఎక్కడెక్కడి నుంచి అందరినీ పిలిపించి మీకోసం చెప్పిస్తున్నారంటే చాలా మంచి టాపిక్ అండి ఆయన మాట్లాడింది. అడగండి, ఏ క్రాప్కి అప్లికేబుల్ అవ్వాలి, అన్ని క్రాప్లకి ఇవ్వచ్చా, ప్రతి క్రాప్కి ఇవ్వచ్చు. ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్లో ఉందా అసలు ఇది?
సార్ ఇది
ఏ క్రాప్కి ఇస్తున్నారు,
ఇది
ఎక్కడ ఉంది, ఏ జిల్లాలో ఉంది?
ఇది యాక్చువల్ నేషనల్ వైడ్ అండి ట్రెడ్స్ అనేది ప్లాట్ఫామ్.
ఓకే,
నేషనల్ వైడ్, కాకపోతే మన ఆంధ్రాలో చాలా తక్కువ ఉపయోగిస్తున్నారు దీన్ని.
అదేనండి.
ఎంఎస్ఎంఈ
కేస్ స్టడీ ఉందా?
లేదు సార్, ఆంధ్రాలో అయితే ఇంకా నేను డేటా సెర్చ్ చేయాలి సార్ దాని గురించి. ఇవి ఎంఎస్ఎంఈలో అగ్రికల్చర్ అంటే గ్రేడింగు, ప్యాకింగు ఇవి ఉంటాయి కదండి అగ్రికల్చర్ సెక్టర్స్. తర్వాత ఫార్మర్ ప్రొడ్యూసర్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్స్ ఇవి ఉంటాయి, ఎఫ్పిఓలు, అగ్రి ఓనర్స్, అగ్రి బిజినెస్ ఉంటాయి కదండి, వాళ్ళు ఈ ఎంఎస్ఎంఈలో ఈ ట్రెడ్స్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్లో రిజిస్టర్ అవ్వాలండి. రిజిస్టర్ అయితేనే వాళ్ళు చేయగలరు. సెల్లర్గా రిజిస్టర్ అవుతారు, బయ్యర్గా కొంతమంది రిజిస్టర్ అవుతారు, ఫైనాన్షియల్ కూడా. అంటే ఇక్కడ 3 పార్టీలు ఉంటాయి అన్నమాట. ఒకళ్ళు అమ్ముతారు ఇమీడియట్గా, అమ్మిన తర్వాత బిల్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్ అని అంటారు కదా మన భాషలో, మన బీకామ్ భాషలోని బిల్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్. వాడు ఒక 3 నెలల తర్వాత 4 నెలల తర్వాత నేను డబ్బులు ఇస్తానని వాడు సంతకం పెడతాడు ప్రామిసరీ నోట్ లాగా. సో అది సెల్లర్ ఇమీడియట్గా అమ్మేసిన తర్వాత అప్లోడ్ చేస్తాడు దాంట్లో ఈ ట్రెడ్స్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్లో. అప్పుడు దాన్ని యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయాలండి అతను, ఎవరైతే కొనుక్కున్నారో బయ్యర్ అతను కూడా యాక్సెప్ట్ చేస్తాడు, ఓకే నేను ఇతని దగ్గర కొన్నానండి. అప్పుడు అది ఏం చేస్తుందంటే ఇట్స్ లైక్ ఏ చెక్ అనమాట, ఆ ప్లాట్ఫామ్లో తిరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది. దాన్ని ఫైనాన్షియల్ వెళ్ళి వాళ్ళ దగ్గర డబ్బులు ఉంటాయి కదా, ఈ బ్యాంక్స్ అవ్వచ్చు మిగతా వాళ్ళు అవ్వచ్చు, వాళ్ళు దాన్ని కోట్ చేస్తారు, నాకు 10% డిస్కౌంట్కి ఇచ్చేస్తాను నేను. అంటే ఇప్పుడు 100 రూపాయలు బిల్ అనుకోండి, అది బిజినెస్ 10 రూపాయలు తీసుకొని నీకు 90 రూపాయలు ఇస్తాను నేను అంటాడు ఒకడు. ఇంకోళ్ళు అంటారు లేదు 7 రూపాయలే తీసుకొని నీకు మిగతా డబ్బులు ఇచ్చేస్తాను అంటాడు. అప్పుడు దాంట్లో మనం మంచి బిడ్ని మనం సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఓకే, 7 రూపీసే బెటర్ కదా, అంటే మనకి ఇంకా 93 వస్తుంది. 10 రూపీస్ అంటే ఇంకా 90 రూపీస్ వస్తాయి కదా మనకి. సో అందులో లోయెస్ట్ బిడ్ని మనం ఏం చేయొచ్చు అంటే క్యాచ్ చేసుకొని సెల్లర్గా మనం యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయొచ్చు. యాక్సెప్ట్ చేసిన 24 అవర్స్లో మన బ్యాంక్లో డబ్బులు పడిపోతాయి యాజ్ ఎ సెల్లర్. తర్వాత 3 మంత్స్ 4 మంత్స్ యాజ్ పర్ ఇన్వాయిస్ ఆ మనీ అతని దగ్గర డ్యూ డేట్ వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఈ ఫైనాన్సరు బయ్యర్ దగ్గర కలెక్ట్ చేస్తారండి మనీ. మరి బయ్యర్కి ఫైనాన్సర్కి ఏంటి యూజ్ అంటే ఇక్కడ డిస్కౌంట్ అంతే. ఏదైతే 7 రూపీస్ 10 రూపీస్ ఉన్నాయో ఆ డిస్కౌంట్ అతనికి.
Nothing but a trade commission.
ఎస్ సార్, ట్రేడ్ కమిషన్. సో దీనివల్ల చాలా
Is there any difference between online trading and this trades?
ఇది
There
ఇది
is an agriculture marketing, there is an chilies ina.
ఏమో సార్ ఐడియా లేదు దాని గురించి అయితే నాకు. బట్ ఇది కూడా ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ ప్లాట్ఫామే సార్. అయితే ఎంఎస్ఎంఈకి కొంచెం ఫాస్ట్గా వర్కింగ్ క్యాపిటల్ ఫైనాన్స్ చేయడం కోసం దీన్ని ఉపయోగిస్తున్నారు సార్ ప్రజెంట్. కానీ
Farmers suffer అవ్వకుండా
ఇమీడియట్గా క్యాష్ బెనిఫిట్స్ వెళ్ళిపోతాయి సార్ వాళ్ళకి. అల్టిమేట్గా సార్ ఇది ప్రజలకు కూడా తక్కువ ప్రైస్కి వచ్చేలాగా అవుతాయి సార్. ఎప్పుడైతే కాస్ట్ తగ్గుద్దో ప్రజలకు కూడా గూడ్స్ని తక్కువ ప్రైస్కి అందించగలుగుతారు సార్.
Students, please interact. Yes, Mike. 1 minute, ma. Wait. Mike will come. తెలుగులోనైనా క్లియర్గా మీకున్న డౌట్ అడగండి. మాస్టర్ మీకు తెలిసింది చెప్పండి, నేను మీకు ఎగ్జామినేషన్.
అలాగే సార్.
Hi sir. Not educated, right? How come you will explain them about the platform, about the registration process, and who will maintain that account for them?
సారీ, యాక్చువల్లీ ఐఎమ్ నాట్ ఆడిబుల్.
ముందుకు వచ్చేయమ్మా.
Sir, the farmers educated కాదు కదా.
ఓకే,
ప్లాట్ఫామ్ గురించి సార్
అదే ఛాలెంజెస్లో చెప్పాను మీరు అంటే మీరు ఓకే అంటే అవేర్నెస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ అండ్
హ్యాండిల్ చేయాలి కదా.
Yes.
అకౌంట్ అనేది రిజిస్టర్ అయిన తర్వాత ప్రాసెస్ హ్యాండిల్ చేయాలంటే ఒకరు ఉండాలి.
అదే డిజిటల్ లిటరసీ దాని గురించే చెప్పానండి మీకు. గవర్నమెంట్ అనేది ఏం చేయాలంటే ఈ బిల్డింగ్ కెపాసిటీ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్, అవేర్నెస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్, ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అవేర్నెస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ బిల్డప్ చేయాలి. తర్వాత వాళ్ళు ఏదైతే ప్లాట్ఫామ్ తయారు చేస్తారో దాన్ని గవర్నమెంట్ కొంచెం ఈజీ ఫ్రెండ్లీగా ఉండేలాగా మనం కొంచెం ఫాస్ట్గా అర్థం చేసుకునేలాగా ఉండాలి ఆ యాప్స్ కూడా. నో ఇది అదే అంటున్నాను, ఫైనాన్సర్ చాలామంది ఉంటారు కదండి. ఇప్పుడు నేను బయ్యర్, మీరు సెల్లర్. ఓకే, మీరు నా దగ్గర కొన్నారు, అది దాన్ని అప్లోడ్ చేశారు. చాలామంది వీళ్ళంతా ఫైనాన్సర్స్. సో వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తారంటే కోట్ చేస్తారు 8%, 7%. దాంట్లో ది బెస్ట్ నేను చూస్ చేసుకుంటాను, అది నా రైట్. కోట్ చేసిన ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి నేనేమి యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయను కదండి. అర్థమైంది అనుకుంటున్నాను నేను. చాలామంది బిడ్ చేస్తారండి, ఒక్కళ్ళే కాదు. అంటే మీకు ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్తున్నాను, చాలామంది దాన్ని బిడ్ చేస్తారు. ఆ బిడ్ చేసినప్పుడు ది లోయెస్ట్ మనం పిక్ చేసుకుంటాం అనమాట. బెటర్ ఆప్షన్ మనం పిక్ చేసుకుంటాం.
నా డౌట్ ఏంటంటే వాళ్ళు ఎడ్యుకేటెడ్ కాదు కాబట్టి ఇదంతా వాళ్ళకి అర్థమయ్యేలాగా ఈజీ వేలో
అదే కెపాసిటీ బిల్డింగ్ గవర్నమెంట్స్ అదే రికమెండేషన్స్ అండి పేపర్లో అది చెప్తున్నాను, రికమెండ్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాను.
మీరైతే ఏం రికమెండ్ చేస్తారు?
నా రికమెండేషన్ అయితే ఎక్కువగా అవేర్నెస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ కండక్ట్ చేయమని చెప్తానండి. తర్వాత బిల్డింగ్ కెపాసిటీ, తర్వాత ఏదైతే వాళ్ళు ప్లాట్ఫామ్ తయారు చేస్తారో దాన్ని కొంచెం ఫ్రెండ్లీలా తయారు చేయాలన్నమాట. ఇప్పుడు వాట్సాప్ ఎలాగా అంత ఫ్రెండ్లీగా అందరూ అర్థం చేసుకోగలుగుతున్నారా, అంత ఫ్రెండ్లీగా, మరి కాంప్లికేటెడ్ కాకుండా అలా అన్నమాట.
థ్యాంక్ యూ. నెక్స్ట్
అయ్యో బాబు.
either question or suggestion.
డౌట్ ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు ఇది ఇండివిజువల్గా చేసుకోవాలా లేదంటే కనుక గవర్నమెంట్ వెళ్ళి చేస్తుందా? అంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ప్రతి విలేజ్లో కూడా అగ్రికల్చర్ ఆఫీసర్స్ ఉంటారు. సో ఇది త్రూ అగ్రికల్చర్ ఆఫీసర్స్ చేయించుకోవాలా లేదంటే యాజ్ ఏ ఎంఈఎస్ అంటే నేను మైక్రో ఎంటర్ప్రైజ్ కాబట్టి నేను నా అంతటి నేనే చేసుకోవాలా గవర్నమెంట్ ఏమైనా హెల్ప్
No,
చేస్తుందా
madam.
అనేది ఫస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్.
Okay, madam.
అంటే ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే పొద్దున్న మల్లయ్య గారు ఒకటి చెప్పారు, ఒక పాయింట్, ఫార్మర్ ప్రొడ్యూసర్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్స్. సో ఫార్మర్ ప్రొడ్యూసర్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ అంటే అగ్రికల్చర్ కార్పొరేటైజేషన్, దాంట్లో భాగంగానే దీన్ని ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేశారా అనేది నాకు కొంచెం డౌట్. కొంచెం ఈ రెండింటికి కొంచెం క్లారిటీ ఇస్తే.
ఎస్ మేడం, మీ ఫస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్కి ఆన్సర్ ఏంటంటే, ఇది గవర్నమెంట్ ఏం కదండి, ఇది జస్ట్ ఒక అప్లికేషన్ మనం ఎలా అప్లై చేసుకుంటామో అట్లాగే అది ప్లాట్ఫామ్లోకి వెళ్ళి మనం రిజిస్టర్ అయిపోవచ్చండి. అయితే అయ్యే ముందు దాంట్లో కొన్ని కేవైసీ ఉంటాయి, మన బ్యాంక్ డీటెయిల్స్, మనం చేసే బిజినెస్ ఏంటి, కేవైసీ మనం నో యువర్ కస్టమర్ ప్రాసెస్ ఫిల్ చేసిన తర్వాతనే మనం రిజిస్టర్ అవుతామండి. దాంట్లో గవర్నమెంట్కి ఎటువంటి ఇది లేదు మేడం, దాంట్లో మనం డైరెక్ట్గా రిజిస్టర్ అవ్వచ్చు. ఎలిజిబిలిటీ ఉంటే అది మనల్ని యాక్సెప్ట్ చేస్తుంది. ఎస్ మేడం. సో మీ సెకండ్ క్వశ్చన్
గవర్నమెంట్
ఇది ఎఫ్పిఓ ఎంఎస్ఎంఈలు అన్నీ రిజిస్టర్ అవ్వచ్చు మేడం. దాంట్లో ఎంఎస్ఎంఈ మనం ఉంటే కనుక దీని మీద ఇంకా నేను నాలెడ్జ్ గెయిన్ చేయాలి మేడం.
He is not CEO of that platform. He is a lecturer on that topic only. Anyone? Okay. Thank you, Sri.
సార్ థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
Congratulations.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
Now I invite SK Ashad, SD Karimulla and SK Nagesh Rafisha, who is going to present this paper. Who is going to present this paper on agriculture budget and overview? Three, oh yeah, please come. I welcome all three writers, three authors to present the paper. ఇంకొక మైక్ ఏది? ముగ్గురికి మూడు మైక్లు ఇవ్వండి, ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేస్తాయి. ఇంకో మైక్ ఇచ్చింది. ఈచ్ వన్ క్యాచ్. టేక్ వన్. ముందు మీ ముగ్గురు మిమ్మల్ని పరిచయం చేస్తారు. యూజ్ మైక్. Just introduce your individual name.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Asad. I am from KL University. Sorry to say that today my voice is not a little bit good because of cold. So I request everyone to bear me for a little bit. I know all of us are having a very busy schedule. I respect your time. So I'll just take more than 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. Today here we have to present a topic upon the agriculture reforms in 2024 or 2025, which is initiated by our PM Modi for our agriculture sectors. Please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. This is Sheikh Nafiz from KL University. I am MBA second year graduate, and today we are here to present our paper on budget, which belongs to agriculture sector.
So this is Sir Karamula from KL University. So our topic is about agriculture reforms in Union Budget 2025 to 2026.
Actually, before starting a topic about this, I wanna give a brief about what our PM has done regarding the agriculture sectors. So the very first thing is our Prime Minister has came up with a program like Dhan Dhanya Krishna Yojana, which is aimed over 100 districts, benefiting approximately 1.7 crores of farmers through various support measures, such as most of the farmers in our country are very poor. They are not having the sufficient money to earn, or like they're not even having to buy the products for productivity for which they wanna wanna grow and sell them. So the very first thing is enhanced the credit facilities. Our PM sir has recently issued that budget proposes a short-term loans on of 5 lakhs to 7.7 crore rupees to the farmers, fishermen, and the dairymen. And he also came up with a new scheme which is known as KCC, which is a Kisan credit card system. And these are a few kind of things, and our PM sir came up with many ideas with the motive of taking our farmers into a new way and presenting them as a backbone of our country. So today our topic is agriculture reforms in Union Budget of 25 and 26 and the transforming Indian farming future. From here my friend will continue.
As we know, from many years and even present, our agriculture is in very poor state. Many of them will say our farmers are the kings, etc. But how far our farmers are kings, we know that very well. If we want to change the future of our farmers, we need to create own opportunities for them. Our government should conduct missions such as Atmanirbharta in pulses, etc., where the pulses which are grown by the farmers should be directly sold to the owners, not with the mediators or etc. For that, we should make like reducing import dependencies, so that we can't depend on other countries for the export, and we can take the goods from other countries. And even domestic production and empower farmers. We should empower farmers by training them and enabling and knowing the practices which are helpful for enhancing the productivity. And later, there are some procurement strategies like NAFED and NCCF are already in process, I think so. It should be like direct procurement and improved storage and efficient distribution. In this improved storage, we can create a better storage places for the farmers, where there should be no loss for the farmers to store their products, etc. And efficient distribution should be like, it should be directly to the government channels. No mediator should be there, so that commission should go to them and farmers should be in loss. And to modernize our agriculture system, we should maintain drone technology. As our technology is growing a lot in our countries, our farmers are still backheading in those steps, so that we should educate them and maintain lot of irrigation modernization techniques to them, and precision farming and research and development. In research and development, we should explain how come the future is going to be for them, for which the land belongs to them, and what profits they can actually get without any mediators. As farmers are thinking, if we get enough profit is enough, but they should know what the real profit they are getting for their hard work. Thank you.
So, for the financial support and incentives for farmers, there are three types: direct income support, crop insurance, and lowest interest loans. Farmers in direct income support, farmer will receive direct income support through various schemes to enhance their financial stability and mitigate income risk. And for the crop insurance, the government will provide crop insurance schemes to protect farmers from losses due to natural calamities and price fluctuations. For the low interest loans, farmers will be offered across to low interest loans for purchasing inputs, equipment, adopting modern technologies. And the impact and domestic production and import education. There are three types. First one is increased production, reduced imports, improved self-sufficiency. And the roadmap for achieving agriculture self-sufficiency by 2030, there are three terms: short term, mid term, and long term. For the short term, the mission aims to achieve significant progress in pulse production within next 3 to 5 years. And midterm, the reform will continue to be implemented and expand further, boosting production and reducing impact dependency. And the long term, the India aims to achieve complete self-sufficiency in plus to 2030 in ensuring the secure, sustainable agriculture future. And my friend will continue.
Actually, friends, a new era for Indian agriculture growth should be established. Nowadays, in any other country, if we see, the farmers in other countries are well, like they're not in a state where here our farmers are there. Here, wherever we see, the farmers are unable to see the profits of their own crops. They are just like they are taking or lending the money from the landlords, or banks are not even ready to give the credit facilities for the farmers. I don't know why this is going happen in our India, but we should come up with overcoming all these risks for the farmers. As we know, according to the budget, there are facilities like KCC and other things, but how come they are reaching to the farmers at the end? It is like stamping that this government has done this thing for the farmers and this government has done. I am not criticizing any kind of party over here. I am not talking about any political things. I am just saying the things which were allotted by the government, are they really going to the farmers at the end, or else what is going in the between? And our main aim is to the development and growth of the farmers. Thank you very much. I hereby conclude my topic, and sorry for the inconvenience. We are from HR and finance background, so we are not good at this topic. So if there is any inconvenience, I kindly request everyone to uh, mm, accept our inconvenience. Thank you very much.
Okay. Anyhow, I congratulate all the team members. We expect the highlights of the budget of 2025-26 as per our title, agriculture budget and overview.
Yes, sir.
But where is budget?
Sir, actually, we came up with a finance topic. After coming here, we understood that it's a conference on agriculture. Just in 10 to 15 minutes, we have prepared this. And
So
we
what
are-
paper you are submitted and what you get the acceptance?
Actually,
It is in a multidisciplinary. You can present your own paper, not an issue. But you chosen the budget topic, but you didn't any highlight the budget issue.
Sir, if there is no
Use mic.
If there is no issue, I can talk about the budget, sir, not regarding the agriculture sector, but I can talk about the topic which I have prepared, sir, if you allow me to.
Overall budget.
Yes, sir. Actually, we are from HR and finance background.
No, not necessary. As a students, we are all MBA students.
Yes, sir.
No issues. What my suggestion is, you don't get any confusion. Whenever you attend the seminar, you have to submit your paper. You came with one idea.
Yes, sir.
Just you have to present your that paper only. Not necessary immediately change and get something from the internet and give the some lecture. It is not necessary.
Okay, sir. Next time.
No, that is not your headache. Huh? You will understand anything, but you have to stick on whatever you present the paper, or otherwise whatever you want to talk with this topic you can talk, or otherwise ఇప్పుడు ఏది ఇక్కడికి వచ్చిన తర్వాత మా టాపిక్ మారిందని అప్పటికప్పుడు దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ నెససరీ టు చేంజ్ ఇమ్మీడియట్లీ యువర్ థాట్స్ అండ్ థింగ్స్ ఓకే
Okay, sir.
కంగ్రాచులేషన్
Thank you very much.
ఆల్ ది బెస్ట్ అండి థ్యాంక్ యూ దిస్ మై ఓన్లీ సజెషన్ డోంట్ గెట్ టేకెన్ ఇట్
No, Thank you, sir.
థ్యాంక్ యూ నో వన్ sir. Now we have one more presentation by Dr. K. Kishore Babu, faculty member from the Department of Economics, Acharya Nagarjuna University. I invite Dr. K. Kishore Babu.
Thank you, sir. for this opportunity. My paper entitled Status of Aquaculture in India and Andhra Pradesh. So we know that the paper is based on the secondary data. So
Please maintain silence.
Right.
Please take your seat.
So fishing is one of the oldest occupation in India. The fishing sector has a place pride of the national income. The fisheries sector has been the important source for the foreign resources over a period of time in India. So although fishing has been the traditional occupation in the coastal village of the India and not only in the Andhra Pradesh, the recognition that the activity has gained in the economic in front of it is largely due to the remarkable achievement on the export front. The globally fish production is estimated to have reached the 178.5 million metric tons in the 2020. So, and the total export of 164 billion US dollars recorded in the 2020, almost the 11% of the export value from agriculture products. At present, India is contributing about the 7.73% of the global fish production and 4% of the total fish trade. So, and my paper is based on the secondary data. The secondary data is collected from the different sources like the FAO, MPEDA, Fisheries Department, and books, journals, and other the published records are is. So the data came from these sources. And finally, my paper is the main objective is to analyze the status of the aquaculture in India and Andhra Pradesh. And my paper highlighted the contribution of the aquaculture to the GDP in India, and the state-wise value of the output from the aquaculture, and the contribution of the India to the world fish production. What is the share of the total fish production in the total world share, and the state-wise shrimp production in India and Andhra Pradesh, and to what are the main export of the fish products from the Andhra Pradesh. So, and I also use the general percentage method and a compound annual growth rate. That is a annual growth rate. What is the changes in during the year by year or decade by decade? I calculate the component annual growth rate. So my paper is highlighted from the total gross value of the added the economic activity at a current the price of the current prices. I take the 2019-20 price I have it taken. So the compound annual growth rate for the fisheries industry was recorded at 17.28%. It is significantly greater than the agriculture sector, the forestry and fishing. So the gross value added of the fisheries sector in the total economy during the 2019 to the 2020, it is 2,12,915 crore rupees, so which is constituted 1.24% of the total net national gross value added. So this is from the, and the role of fisheries sector in Andhra Pradesh, in agriculture sector. So the total value of the out from the fishing is continuously increasing at the compound annual growth rate. It is 17.91% in the 2011 and 12 to increasing the during the period. So the highest annual growth rate among the major fishing state to estimated the Tripura, followed by the Andhra Pradesh. The Andhra Pradesh stands into the second position, which contribute to the 29.47% of the value, and Orissa, the Kerala, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, and West Bengal during the same period. So, and the state-wise, the value of output fishing is also observed from the data. So there is a difference between the marine fishing and inland fisheries. So the share of the inland fisheries in the total world inland fish increased from 9.40% in 1950 to the 15.13% during the 2021 period. So the inland, India's fish production, including marine and inland fish, the production was growing at much faster than the world level. And next one is the state-wise shrimp production in India. The state of Andhra Pradesh top in the area under the cultivation of the shrimp with 74,512 hectares in the year of 2021. And the production is 6,39,896 tons. Followed by the West Bengal. In this, West Bengal is occupied the second position with the area of the shrimp is 15,844 hectares. And the production of the shrimp is 54,584 tons. And next place occupied by in the production in the area and production of the shrimp, the Gujarat is occupied the third position in terms of the area and production. And Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry is occupied the fourth position, and the fifth position occupied by the Karnataka with the area of just 3,015 hectares, and the production is 3,186 tons. And the market-wise details of the different markets also playing the USA and China is playing an important market, the sources for the export of the fisheries sector, and the port-wise export of the different aqua products is observed that in India there are 11 major ports and large number of the minor ports. The major ports are Pupugiva, the Vizag, Cochin, and Jawaharlal Nehru Port, Mangalore, Kolkata, Tuticorin, Chennai, and Goa, the Mumbai. These are all the main important ports to export the marine products and aqua products. So it is observed that the JNP port in the total marine export during the 2000 was highest at 22.78%, followed by the Cochin port and Pupugiva, Chennai port. So it comes to the 2019 and 20, the share of the Pupugiva port was given the highest, the percentage of the aqua products are export from these products. And another important, so these are all the major conclusions from my papers. Thank you, sir.
Any questions?
And one submission, sir. And in Andhra Pradesh, Krishna district and West Godavari district, Nellore district, and Visakhapatnam, East Godavari district playing an important role in the production of the aqua products.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Altogether, 3 research papers were presented. Altogether, 3 research papers was presented in this session. All the discussions and presentations are very fruitful. Now I request our co-chair, Professor Rajesh Garu, to give his opinion on the presentations. I request Professor Rajesh.
Thank you very much, sir. I think this session we had 3 papers presented. I think the first paper, I think Mr. Srinu has presented a paper on TReDS, that means relating with electronic platform, providing a facility for the buyers and sellers. It's acting like a stock exchange platform, commodity exchange, something like that. As he has mentioned, that idea has to be reach the large number of buyers and sellers. Especially in Andhra Pradesh, the farming community is not proactive in the sense as far as selling their produce in advance. But these platforms will help to discount their bills, discount their financial instruments in advance so that they will get their working capital. That's what I understood from your presentation. Yes, definitely in future technology and finance, fintech apps will play a major role even in agriculture and rural development. So as it was already mentioned by the chair and rapporteur about ENAM, another platform is there. Governments are doing a number of things. Like in future, forget about who is ruling the country, but the point is they are creating a lot of database of farmers in the coming days in a very big way. As morning some speakers mentioned about big data applicable to the farming community. Yes, definitely a lot of data will be culled, and they are putting a different portal in future about the not only the database of the farmers and the tenant farmers and the land holding, and at the same time the soil texture, the crops pattern, everything they want to have a big database, enormous database. We call it as big data. On the basis of that data, in future, you will get a lot of insights. Using these insights, and startup venture enthusiasts can come into this field, because the future belongs to youngsters, and they can use this data to create an app or whatever, some application, so that everybody will get benefit, some value creation will be done. So on that basis, I appreciate Mr. Srinu for selecting a very emerging topic, and I wish him a good luck in his research endeavors. Yeah, second paper, I think KLU students presented. I think they left already. Okay, very good. Actually, for the benefit of other students, actually there are no short-term solutions. Try to understand. They changed the topic. They went to some chat GPT. They got one slide and they presented all of a sudden. So you should do some research before you come to the research seminars like this. Every student must work in the chosen field. Don't depend exclusively on technology or some chat GPT to get the slides to read them. You can use chat GPT only to get the slides, but you have to modify the content. And you can search and you can do research. Actually, they mentioned the title as agriculture budget in the recent budget presented by Nirmala Sitharaman, but they not covered those points. Yeah, in that sense, normally in seminars, you should stick to the topic you have given. So that discipline we should maintain in the future. Third topic I think is very relevant to Krishna district, because it's a blue, a revolution. We are in the forefront. Aqua exports, MPEDA is there. A lot of industries are also there. There are some industries supplying food, pesticides, and other required vitamins for the fish culture. And we are exporting to the other countries. Fish processing industry is a big industry, especially East Krishna. Sometimes we have to improve the standards also, because sometimes the importing countries, they may reject if you are using excess fertilizers, or if the water content is not good, your entire shipment will be returned. So in that sense, there is a huge business opportunity. There are companies, I know one of my relatives have started Growell. They are exporting to foreign countries also, the food items. They are selling the fish required food stuff to other countries, and they're making a lot of money. So the point here is, I would like to mention here is, there is a huge scope for research, especially in agriculture. So the topic is also suited to this geographical situation of Krishna and Andhra Pradesh. So I appreciate Kishore for choosing the right topic. But as such, this seminar is a huge seminar topic-wise. Rural development and agriculture, as I said in the morning, you cannot separate them that easily. If the agricultural development takes place, automatically rural development will also take place. But there are certain issues. For example, most of the people dependent on agriculture, we say normally. But the issue here is, everybody may not get the full-time employment in agriculture. We call it as underemployed. Most of the agricultural workers are underemployed because all 365 days they don't get the employment. That's why Government of India started Mahatma Gandhi NREGA scheme, National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. Under that scheme, 100 days of work will be provided by the government. The rest of the days, they can work in the agriculture fields. That means in India, the governments have taken a lot of initiatives. A right to work is the important thing. At the same time, another related right is right to food also. If you don't have food, you can ask government. Right to education is also there because we are in the college, I should say. So right to education, right to food, right to work. These are all basic rights today. But NREGA scheme, if you try to understand, is a very objective-wise very good scheme. We have also done some project 5-6 years back on NREGA. In terms of the social infrastructure developed as a social assets for the village by the contributions by NREGA workers is a very laudable approach. But the implementation of the scheme lies normally with the state governments. Money will be given by central government. So in that sense, it has to be coordinated well, and villages also, the public should be vigilant enough to use this facility to create some social infrastructure, physical infrastructure rather, as far as common good is concerned. In economics, we say a lot of times the common good has to be protected. The tank bunds, canal, banks, or maybe the river bonds have to be protected properly, not for this generation, but for the future generations. So NREGA scheme is a very important scheme. But this topic is also talking about employment generation. Today, I think most of the supply chain companies, supply chain management companies, they source the items from villages only. It's Amazon, Flipkart. Where do they get their food stuff? That means villages are supplying a lot of agricultural produce. Even the northeast states like Mizoram, Nagaland, these are also supplying different varieties of food items too, and they're exporting also. Chilies are exported from Arunachal Pradesh, spices. Kerala is exporting a lot of spices. We call it as spice capital of the country. In that sense, we have tea board, coffee board. We are exporting tea and coffee. So in that sense, government is having a huge, what I can say, set up a lot of framework, schemes, policies. But we must utilize them properly. In that sense, agricultural, as Jawaharlal Nehru said, anything can stop but not agriculture. That means in this country anything can be stopped but except agriculture, because if the farmer goes for the strike, what will happen? Just imagine. If an industry goes to the strike, only the manufacturing may stop in that particular sector only. But if farmers, they don't cultivate, you don't get food on the table. So in that sense, we should respect the farming community. We should protect them. Government is also doing that. As somebody said, KLU students said, Kisan credit card scheme. Yes, they're already there, popular scheme only. But they increased in the budget, the level of 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs, they increased the credit facility. Even Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, recently inaugurated one textile exhibition in Delhi. He mentioned 5 F's regarding textiles. Farm to the fiber, fiber to the factory, yes, factory to the fashion, fashion to the foreign. So he is very good at designing acronyms. This 5F is really a laudable approach, because whatever the cotton you are producing, it should go to the should convert into the fiber. That's why we have seen in Guntur district a lot of ginning and spinning mills. They separate the seeds, they convert the cotton into bales, Then they will send it to the textile companies. So farm to fiber, fiber to factory. In the factory they will weave. Then factory to the fashion, fashion to the foreign. So India is one of the largest exporter. Once upon a time, the garments. But today, the countries like Bangladesh, Vietnam, they are exporting. If you go to the US, earlier we used to find made in India shirts, but today made in Bangladesh. Bangladesh we consider is inferior, but not like that anymore. In textiles, they are leading. Vietnam is also leading. Even Sri Lanka is catching up. So in that sense, competition is enormous. So what you should understand here is, agriculture is having huge potential, and according to some statistics, most of the young population in future may not be there in the cities, they will be in the villages. So unless you take the advantage of these demographics, unless you use the potential fully, the people who are residing in villages, India cannot become the world leading economy by 2047. So there are huge challenges. So that's why some companies, I think you might have heard about Joho, a software company. Vembu Srinivasan is a Tamilian. He established his company in US. He made a good mark. Then he came back to Tamil Nadu. In the village he is sitting, he is running this company. That means an MNC software company working from a village. So these type of models, reverse migration is also taking place. A new way of thinking is coming. So in order to strengthen the villages, we should encourage companies to come back to the villages, so that the villagers will get work. Work from anywhere concept is there. Even during Corona, most of the engineers work from the villages only. The same concept we can encash now. So like this, there are several other schemes. As I think in the morning, our keynote speaker has mentioned about Pura, Abdul J. Kalam scheme, providing urban facilities in rural areas. Pura 2.0 is also there. In that sense, not only that, Amul, for example, is a great example in rural development. Varghese Kurian's brainchild. Amul has helped many women to become self-sustained through cooperative dairy products. The same Vijaya Dairy and everything is also following the Amul model only. So like this, they're all very good examples. So in that way, we should fully understand the challenges, but especially in this seminar, the agriculture challenges are many, but we should always use innovation. What is innovation basically? Innovation is doing something better with the existing system or with emerging technology. That innovation, suppose if I am wearing a grey shirt, changing the color is not innovation. What is innovation? Innovation should give some value. Innovation should create some value. Innovation should deliver value. So in that sense, either you should reduce the cost or change the application for better use, or to scale up the same solution to the entire world. Why Google's, Facebook's, they become so popular? Because their solution is useful for everybody across the nations. That's why it's a huge innovation. Facebook is also a giant company today, but once upon a time it is a startup company. But their idea is used by many and accepted. That's why they become big. So in that sense, in agriculture, there is huge scope for innovation because there are challenges and there are pain points. Innovation thrives only when there are challenges. Innovation succeeds when you are giving solutions. So in future you will see very big companies or small companies become big if they are fully focused on rural challenges. So this is my take on innovations, and I wish all the participants will do further research in their chosen fields, and they will deliberate and discuss their points. Today you can share your ideas always in different forums, but seminars are one such forum, I appreciate the Department of Economics of our college to come up with this idea and bringing everybody onto the same platform. And in future also we are conducting many more such seminars. I think in the March 21st, 22nd, MBA department is doing a seminar on ESG. ESG means environment, social and governance issues, challenges, and how to maintain a sustainable business models. So like that, they're all related. The point here is environment, economics, and society must converge to give better solution, better value. And I profusely thank Professor Madhu Babu Garu and our rapporteur, Mr. Kishore, for being with us today. And I congratulate all the participants for sharing your well-deserved thoughts. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Rajesh Garu. With the permission of our organizers, now we have one more paper for presentation. Now I invite Mr. N. Ashok, lecturer in Zoology Government Degree College, Rampachodavaram, is going to present a paper on sustainable agricultural facilities in India. I invite Dr. N. Ashok. Ashok, only for 5 minutes.
Okay, sir.
Good evening.
Students, please maintain silence.
Good evening
This
to
is your seminar, your college. We are all guests from outside. You should respect us.
good evening to all the dignitaries and the faculty members and students. Today I am here to present a review paper on sustainable agriculture practices in India. Before going to, I will conclude this topic within 5 minutes. Please be patient. If you see our agriculture present days, if our like to our body, our backbone is very important to support our body. Like that, to the Indian economy, our agriculture is very important. If you see the Indian economy, our agriculture contributing 16 to 18% to GDP, that means gross domestic product, and it is employing about 50% of the workforce. The environment is becoming degrading because we are using excessive chemical fertilizers and water intensive methods and traditional farming methods. So if we take sustainable agriculture practices, the agriculture will be more efficient and give more productivity by using a organic components. If you check the agriculture practices in India, what is we can say that organic farming. So organic farming removes the synthetic fertilizers and pesticides. The government, that means the National Program for Organic Production promotes organic farming in India. It's like Sikkim. We are using so many chemicals to grow the agriculture, but when we use the biofertilizers like vermicompost, normal organic materials, the agriculture will be more effective and give more production. So conservation agriculture, agroforestry, integrated pest management, precision making, farming, zero budget natural farming, rainwater harvesting and efficient irrigation, crop diversification. So if you want to implement the sustainable agriculture practices, we have to maintain this like high initial cost, lack of awareness and training, market constraints, climate change impacts. Finally, the government providing some policies and initiatives which are known as NMSA, National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture, PKVY, Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana, RKVY, Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. By these policies and initiatives by the government, the agriculture will be more efficient and give good productivity in India. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashok. Please wait while we meet. If you want to interact with students, you can wait, or otherwise. Any questions or any interaction with the author?
Actually, this is the first time I am presenting paper, sir,
Okay,
so
no
I
issue.
don't know
Whatever
anything.
you will.
That's why I'm getting very tense.
No, you are already teacher now.
Before my students and faculty, I can
We
teach,
are
sir,
also
but
a student in your topic. You are a master in your topic. We are all students today to you. Anyhow, okay, good. Congratulations.
Thank
Thank you.
Yeah, actually in the recent Delhi elections, first time MLA becomes CM already. Don't bother. Okay. Feel free.
First experience is the best experience. Huh? Okay. Congratulations. Now I request Dr. K. Kishore Babu, rapporteur, for his report.
Once again, thankful to the organizers. Good evening, respected chairman on the dais, Professor Madhababu Garu, head of the department, Acharya Nagarjuna University, and Professor Rajesh Jampala Garu, co-chair, and myself. I proposed a rapporteur report. So basically, agriculture is a backbone of the Indian economy, no doubt at all. The more than 60% of the population living in the rural areas, and nearly 45% of the population directly or indirectly depend upon the agricultural sector. This is no doubt at all. So, but the contribution of the agricultural sector has come down from the 1950 to the at present. So, 50% to the 16 to 17% of the total contribution to the GDP. So the recent the seminar, the main title is the innovation of the agriculture and rural development. So I raise some questions. Is it ready? The farmers are accepted the new innovation in agriculture sector. It is the question rise from ourselves. So actually, Indian farmers are not ready to accept the innovations and advanced developments to applied in the agricultural sector. As I am a son of a farmer, so my father is not accepted the government extension rules and other the expert rules in agriculture sector. So my father followed just simple, suppose Prasad Garu is my neighboring fathers. My father is followed the Prasad Garu. So Prasad Garu is applied 2 bags for a DAP. My father applied 3 bags DAP or other urea. So that's why the cost of the cultivation has been increasing day by day, right? And another important one thing is the price of the DAP and urea fertilizers and pesticides day by day or year by year increasing. Whereas in compared to the price of the minimum support price of the paddy and other dominated crops, like today we are yesterday and the day after yesterday we are observing the chilies farmers. Some of the chilies farmers are going to strike or fight for the MSP. So that my doubt is as increasing in the price of the fertilizers and pesticides, that much the price of the crops has not been increasing so much. That's why the farmers are pressed into the depressed conditions or debt trap. So this is one of the important thing. The policy makers are some policies are framed into the AC rooms, not in the ground levels. So the farmers are doubling the farmers' income. So how doubling the farmers' income? That is another question. So doubling the farmers' income at 2030. So how it is? Yes, sir. How it is double the farmers' income. So this is my questions also. Questions. And I present the rapporteur report. The first person, C.H. Srinivas Rao, talks on the TReDS is important. And it is providing to the credit to the MSMEs, but agriculture sector is not an MSME, and his paper is based on the secondary data. He described the working on the working capital, and it is also highlighted the money circulating between the supplier and buyer. So TReDS is nothing in agriculture sector also one market, one nation. We are also one market, one nation. That is ENAMS, electronic agriculture national market. So this is the first paper, and the second paper presented the SK Najia Karimullah on the budget on agriculture. He has also highlighted the different programs. Dhan Krishi Yojana enhance the credit facility, KCC. So the credit facilities is important. The most of the farmers are depend upon the non-institutional sources. So the credit from the institutional sources is very less when compared to the non-institutional sources. And the last paper also is N. Ashok, lecturer in zoology, Government Degree College, Rampachodavaram. He talks on the sustainable agricultural practice in India. So as usual, agricultural income is reduced from the 16 to the 80%, and also to providing the 50% of the employment in the agricultural sector. So this is my report. Thank you, sir. Thank you for this giving opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. K. Kishore Babu, for highlighting all the papers writing aspects. Altogether, 3 papers are presented in this session. Four papers were presented in this session, including Kishore's paper on agriculture, aquaculture issues. I congratulate all the presenters, particularly C.H. Srinivas and S.K. Ashadi, S.D. Karimullah, S.K. Nasif, N. Ashok, and Dr. K. Kishore Babu. My heartful thanks to Professor Rajesh Garu, who is a co-chair of this session, and my sincere thanks to organizers who gave us an opportunity. Now the session is closed. I would like to hand over the mic to organizers. I invite Dr. Rohini Kushama.
Thank you so much, sir. On behalf of the college management and Department of Economics, we would like to thank Professor Madhubabu Garu for sparing his valuable time and coming to our seminar and gracing our seminar, and with your insights, we learned so many things from you, sir. And also we want to keep associate with in the future also with the Department of Economics, and we want to make the Department of Economics in the P.V. Siddhartha College very strong department, sir. So thank you very much, sir. And I would like to thank our Dean Academics, Professor Rajesh Jampal Garu. So he's always a constant support to us in the college regarding the academics or extracurricular activities or anything. He is very
forefront and coming forward and supporting us, sir. Thank you so much, sir, Rajesh, sir. And also I would like to thank Dr. Kishore Garu, who is very much friendly. When I have done my PhD from the Department of Economics, these faculty members are very much helpful to me in completing my PhD, especially Kishore sir. So I would like to thank on behalf of the Department of Economics for gracing this occasion, sir. Thank you so much. So just wait for 5 minutes, sir. Sir is coming, sir. Principal sir is coming, sir. So students, anyone wants to ask anything from the Department of HOD sir is there, Acharya Nagarjuna University. So you are in the first year and second year. If you want to ask any questions regarding higher studies in economics or what are the opportunities, you can ask. Now we have 5 minutes. So sir can explain about those things. Because so many students from our department, sir, are aspirants to join in UPSC, sir. So most of the students joined in BA Economics. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now I would like to invite Principal, sir, Dr. M. Ramesh Garu onto the dais to felicitate the resource persons, sir. ఫోటో దిగడానికి వస్తానండి. ఇంకోసారి కూడా ఎవరో ఉన్నట్టున్నారు, వెంకటేష్ గారు. అదే 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 పైకి వచ్చేయండి మేడం. అటువైపు కూడా ఉంచండి కొంతమంది. సార్ మీరు కూడా రండి, కరీముల్లా సార్. సార్ రండి సార్, రండి సార్. సార్ మీరు కూడా రండి సార్. సార్ రండి సార్. రండి రండి ప్రసాద్ గారు. తర్వాత రండి. నా తర్వాత రండి. నా తర్వాత వస్తున్నాయి. వస్తుందా? అటు నుంచోమంటారా? పడుతుందా? ముందుకు రండి సార్, ముందుకు రండి. నేను అటు నుంచి ఉంటా. ఆగండి సార్